table. There we go. Well, we're live, boys. Thanks for being here.
Hey, pleasure, man.
Taylor, it's nice to meet you. Jeremy, it's good to see you again. How's college, by the way?
Hard.
Where are you going to college?
Well, was down at a school in Georgia last year. Didn't really like the city, so
Where in Georgia?
It was in Columbus, Georgia.
Georgia. You said South Carolina. I knew it wasn't South
That's where
Carolina.
I'm going.
Okay.
Oh, really?
That's where I'm going.
Oh, okay. I thought you were in Arizona.
No, never was on the West Coast.
I thought you were in Arizona playing baseball.
I'm playing, but not on the East Coast.
Oh.
Southeast.
Are you first base? What are you?
Yes, sir.
That makes sense. You're kind of a thick boy.
Pause.
That's a thick boy. That's a thick ass boy. So where is baseball more serious? Like, I know they take it super serious here in Minnesota at like the Little League level. It's like obnoxiously serious up in like Coon Rapids and shit. And then they take high school baseball very seriously in Texas.
Damn.
Where is you know how like football, it's the biggest in the South?
So I would say
Where is baseball the biggest?
baseball, football, SEC is legit.
No shit.
Southeast.
No shit.
Alabama, Texas, Florida, Georgia, Bama. West Coast, it's big as well, but up in the north, it's a lot of hockey and football and basketball.
Now, are you on a ride?
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah, I'm not
That's
going to
pretty
say
cool.
how much, but it's a good amount. So
For people that don't know what I just said, I asked him if he's on a scholarship, and he said yes. They call that a ride. I didn't call it I didn't ask if he's on a free ride because it sounds, from what I know, it sounds like college baseball is very similar to college hockey, which is that almost nobody gets a full ride
Right.
in those
It's more
two
like a
sports.
football thing.
And basketball.
Yep.
Whereas like hockey, you're still paying for some of that college. Apparently, I don't know if any of this is true. Steve, can you look this up, Murph? How much college hockey scholarships cover?
Did you watch the Stanley Cup?
Mm-mm.
No.
No,
Not too big
because
of a fan.
No, I am, but here's why. Dude, I'm not going to watch a Canadian team win a Stanley Cup, nor am I going to watch a team that can't naturally have any fucking ice win a Stanley Cup.
Right.
So no.
And
fuck
Florida's
that.
been
I don't
the
give a
past
fuck.
fucking 5
Where'd that
Stanley
lighter go?
Cups.
I don't know where that.
They won 3
Do
of
you
the
have
5 so far.
Steve,
Florida's
did we
just
give you the
on a
torch?
roll.
Oh, it's right here.
Oh.
Here. Sorry, what were you saying?
I was just saying the past 5 Stanley Cups, Florida has won 3 out of the 5.
No, they haven't.
Yeah.
Florida just won their first cup.
No.
Yeah.
Florida teams.
Oh, you're
Florida
saying Tampa
teams.
Bay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah,
I thought you meant
yeah.
the Panthers. My bad, dude. My bad.
All
bad.
good. All good. But yeah, it's been a while since Canada's won anything.
Yeah, so how much percentage is that? No, but like of his tuition. So if your tuition's
So
15 grand, that's
most-
just over 50%.
Yeah, most tuition is you're looking like 15 to 20 for out of state.
Right,
So
that's
you're
what I'm
getting-
saying.
You're
So
getting like a third.
yeah.
You're getting a third, a half.
Yeah.
And then they also
that's the average, right? So some guys are getting more than that. Some guys are getting nothing. Like there's some guys that are on high school hockey college hockey teams and college baseball teams that they're not getting any scholarship money. They're straight up paying to be there.
There's a couple. There's 4 or 5 walk-ons a team probably.
Yeah.
But most of the walk-ons are in-state, so then they only have to pay.
Isn't that weird that you pay less depending on where you live? I totally understand
weird.
why.
That is fucking.
I totally
like,
understand why.
Oh, you want to go to a school in Florida? Well, you're not from here. 10,000 more a year.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
obviously
right.
doesn't cost any more to have you there. But what they're really doing is like they're trying to incentivize in-state kids to stay in state. That's what the real point of is. It seems like they don't want you to come from out of state, but what they're really doing is they're incentivizing the in-state kids.
Right.
That's what it really is. But I still don't think it costs anymore, and I don't necessarily think they're losing any money by bringing in the in-state kids.
Oh, definitely not.
You know what I mean? Like,
no. I think it might like kind of help them a bit more. Just like these people who grew up in this state really want to go to this school or whatever. I don't know. I'm just talking out my ass, but kind of seems like that. It's just all about marketing.
that's okay, dude. That's basically what we do on this podcast is just talk out of our ass.
Basically.
It definitely makes for the best content. That's for fucking sure.
Our beer?
Do you guys say sure or sure?
I say sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'll take one more.
Oh,
Sure,
yeah.
grab me another one. Grab yourselves one too. Oh, you need the lighter again?
Yeah.
I gotta get. So I'm gonna get. So I had 2 lighters. I had that one, which stayed in the house, and then I had a smaller version of it, which that was like my fucking travel lighter, right? So I go up to my parents for Father's Day, and I cook steaks up there. My mom buys the steaks. I cook the steaks. And I'm smoking some cigars, and I have a few beers, and I'm on my scooter. I got a scooter, dude. It does like 60 miles an hour. It's
Damn.
fucking awesome. I
All
love
right.
this fucking thing, dude. Because nobody pulls over a scooter, right? So you can be a little buzzed up and sneak around.
What kind of
for
scooter
sure.
are we talking about?
like a Vespa style scooter, right?
Okay.
It's not a Vespa, but it's that style. It's a fucking scooter, like a gay motorcycle. You know what I mean? And but again, it's only 125 cc's. Nobody ever pulls a scooter over unless you're obviously shit faced, right? And you take back roads, and it's a fun, safe way to travel around the city. So
For sure.
so leaving my parents' house, I had like a stub of a cigar left, and I decided, since I was taking back roads, I was going to smoke that cigar like a biker on the way home, right? So while I'm traveling, I put this thing in my shorts pocket, right?
Okay.
And I have my cell phone in my other shorts pocket, right? Because I can kind of get them to lean into like my inner thigh, so I'm not worried about shit falling out.
Yeah.
But somehow, some way, somewhere along the trip, that fucking lighter fell out of my goddamn pocket.
Oh, no.
And I have no idea where it went. So I'm gonna buy a new one. And then I started looking, and I seen like a pack of 2 in this style and this style, and I'm like, all right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy like 5 of these fucking cigar lighters, and they have these big ones that are like probably half the size of this ashtray, and they just sit on the table.
Damn.
You know what I
Wow.
mean? Like they're big, beefy, heavy motherfuckers. I'm gonna get
Yeah.
one of those for sure. I gotta get one for Murph back there behind the console. But yeah, we're dialing it in. We got a fucking producer now, boys. I'm fucking stoked. Cheers. Cheers, man. Appreciate you guys coming down. So you're back in town. Are you jamming with anybody? Are you doing anything music while you're in town?
I'm kind of just playing on my own, practicing, and obviously, it was hard to say bye to Logan. He's doing the thing though down there, and on very good terms with Chris. Still talk to him a good amount. I do think that we have, and this is me, Chris, and Logan, with, and I guess I'll say unnamed drummer that tracked for us. Maybe a year ago, we wrote 2 songs, 3 maybe, and we didn't do anything with them since we stopped. But we have them in the vault, and I think we're gonna finish them and put them out in August.
Interesting. I heard one of those songs, and I don't remember if it was Wally or Brad.
Probably was Wally.
One of them, either Wally or Brad, sent me, and they were just it was just one of those deals where like, we trust you to be honest.
Yeah.
What's your opinion? And I straight up went full American. You remember the black dude Randy Jackson from American Idol?
Oh, yeah.
My entire response was literally, "It's a no for me, dog." Like, because it didn't sound like you guys.
Yeah,
Like it didn't sound like Stormbreaker. And then it was funny because
I wonder what it was. What song it was?
I don't remember, but it was like overproduced. It also didn't have Chris on it. It was a different singer.
What?
Yeah, it was when you guys were like thinking about or had to like.
Oh, who was that other guy? The guy who
No,
played
we
live
didn't
with
track anything with him though, and we
Oh.
haven't had a different singer. So I don't know if you're thinking of another band.
No, it was definitely your band, but nothing came of it. That's why I thought it was these recordings, because it was like I wasn't the only one who was like honest. Because dude, having honest frids is the most important thing to being a musician. Like when you come up with a shitty song, the most important thing is your real friends go, yeah, no, that one sucks, dude.
So
Delete
songs,
that one. Yeah.
The songs that we
Minnesota,
had, the songs that we had tracked. that
Don't
we're
be in
gonna put out-
Minnesota then.
that we're gonna put out soon.
Is that what you said? Don't be in Minnesota then. That one hit really hard with me, dude. That one hit so hard with me because people up here are not honest when it comes to that shit. Everything's duckies and bunnies. Everything you do is great. When you make mistakes, people blindly support
No,
you,
dude,
and it's like, no, dude.
It just
you need-
causes more tension within that group then.
yeah,
And with any fucking relationship, really.
it totally does.
You know?
Yeah. The songs that we had tracked that we're putting out, there's no vocals on them yet even. So I don't know what,
dude, I swear
wonder
to God,
what
I
I don't
heard
know what he
something.
sent you.
I heard
It
something.
might be a song that we released
Did Logan send you
already.
this?
No, like I said, I don't remember who actually sent it to me, but I remember being like, no, this is a different band.
We
like,
never.
and I didn't elaborate. I just said it's a no for me, dog. But if I would have elaborated and like tried to like be like professional, which I hate that shit, you know, where you, like people write like encyclopedias. I'm like, dude, tell me if it's fucking dope or not. I don't need this fucking like introspect or you know what I'm trying to say. I don't need a fucking article written about the song. Like, dude, come on. Is it dope or is it not? You know what I mean? Because otherwise people start getting, you know what you should do is instead of playing this riff, do this. And it's like, I do the same thing. So I quit. I'm like, I'm not doing this with people anymore. So what I do is I'll be like, yes, no, it's dope. Start over, you know, keep everything you're doing, but rebuild it, you know, like keep your chord progressions, keep the vocal line, but start over. Like, because it's dope, but you're not executing. Like, you guys went the wrong. That's the type of shit I try to say, right?
There's one thing, like, okay, not to get like sidetracked or anything, it's in the same realm, but like with like album reviews or something, after like someone puts it out, the whole PR thing, it seems like it's always good. And I hate that. Like, don't get me wrong.
Locally, you mean? For like local bands and shit?
Like locally or even just
regional, like underground?
Regionally, even national.
Metallica.
You know?
Never see a bad review about Metallica.
Seriously, though, because you only hear the shitty reviews from the fans.
No, I know, yeah.
I mean,
but like
when they're
Instagram comments.
Yeah, when they're
where
posted
you find
online and everything, that's when you find everything to,
and then they go too far with
good.
it. Not only are they truthful, they're really mean.
Yeah, you go too far
fucking
with it.
trash.
I mean, I love Metallica, man.
But you just have to give a reason why. What are they lacking on?
But
but
what I would have said in this scenario, if I would have elaborated, was there's nothing inherently wrong with this. It's just not Stormbreaker. You should just name this. Like, for example, if I would have been in the corner of Metallica when they did Load Reload, I would have seriously argued, change the name, release Load and Reload under a different band name, because this isn't Metallica. Because, and you guys are a little younger than me, but Murph, you can attest for this because you were around when this happened. Even if you weren't into them, you were around when this happened. Was people criticized those albums so unfairly? It's laid off a lot in the last 15, 20 years. But, dude, the criticism for Load and Reload is ridiculous to the point where I have always made the actual argument that if they would have released that under a different band name, no one would ever talk any shit about those albums at all.
I love Load. I'm not really a big fan of Reload, but Load's amazing.
So now do you feel the same way about Saint Anger?
Saint Anger is straight ass. That's a bullshit album. That whole album should have been deleted.
And it's not even. It's not
I'm
even
the
so
biggest
much,
Metallica fan. So
no, and
it's hard for me to say anything negative about any of those guys.
It's not even that, like you said. It's not even that. It's like, you know, I guess they were trying to go for a new metal because, you know, that was big at the time.
Right.
But it was very bad.
Which they broke their own rules. Their rule was, we're not trying to fit in. We're trying to do our own thing.
Well, yeah, but they didn't do that with the Black Album. So they kind of
they did their own thing with the snare drum.
I think they did do their own thing with the Black Album in regards to the music they were writing. You're definitely right when it came to the production and how they did it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I love the album.
They talked about that they were writing the majority of the Black Album while they were on tour for Justice. Like, a lot of those riffs were written on that tour. That's why Metallica was so prolific.
Yeah.
They were writing and rehearsing, like actual formal rehearsals on tour. You know,
insane.
like nobody does that.
Nobody
does that.
Crazy.
It's usually take fucking 2-3 years off and then they start.
Dude,
what do you got?
Like, that's why Metallica is Metallica. Everybody wants to talk about all these other, and they're probably right. You know, like the intangibles and all that shit. Cool, but like the fact that they were writing and rehearsing regularly on tour, it's like, dude, that's work ethic, but that's dedication. That's really caring about your art and not just doing it for fame and pussy. You know what I mean?
Dude,
like,
they really did care, and I think they still do. You know.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I mean, that can also be debated about because they have millions of dollars, and like they feel like maybe the chase is kind of gone. You know, it kind of loses its. It's like, we have to do this.
I think they made
I think their biggest problem is they're sober now. I think that's the biggest problem with their music is that they're sober.
That's a lot of bands, though, and it's great for them as a person. You like to see people get sober, but you know, you write better music when you have an addiction. That's
Yeah,
just,
the struggle.
I think it's a fact,
You know?
because you're putting your struggle into your music, and it feels
so do you
real.
think it's so? Okay, so let me ask you: do you think, if I'm hearing you right, what you're saying is, it's not even the fact that you have an addiction, it's not even the substance that you're addicted to, it's the fact that there's some inherent suffering,
correct?
and that's why you're on some sort of substance,
Correct.
that is inspiring this great music.
Correct. Jonathan Davis, Korn, that first album, the whole album.
What the fuck is going on in the background?
Hearing it. Are you hearing that?
I heard it.
You shouldn't be hearing it.
I heard it in my left eardrum.
I heard it too.
Sounded like Rick Beato.
It is.
Oh, there you go. Good ear.
So keep going. Korn first album.
Jonathan Davis, Korn, their first album. Very dark. About Jonathan Davis's struggles with his family. Horrible what he went through as a child. But you can physically hear him in his lyrics and his voice about what he went through.
Sure.
Their later releases, right? Their last album. I mean, honestly, I haven't listened to anything that they've put out in the last 15 years.
Me neither.
And honestly, other than that first album. But I'm just saying that's another example of something that's not an addiction. That is what I mean. That you can hear it in the music. Not that it's a good thing that he went through that, but I'm saying people write better music if it's a fact. If they've had something, the singer is what I mean. If they've had something that you can hear it in their voice. I feel like you can hear it in their voice.
I think it also happens for other musicians, and I can speak personally because I would literally say the only negative thing about me meeting my wife and getting married is that I'm so fucking legitimately content and happy. I have not written a truly good song because I'm not a vocalist anymore. I don't even try to be. But I love to write the music. I love to write the song. And then especially that's why I'm having such a good time working with my singer, Jeremy, is that he's an incredible vocalist and lyricist.
Thank
so
you.
he has the ability to just show up on my song and just write something dope over it. And I have enough experience to lend him a song that's, vocal able. Or vocal inclusive, whatever you want to call it. It's a hard way to describe this. But long story short is oh my God. I think that level of suffering and anguish that you guys are talking about, I think that transcends past vocals. I think it makes it into the actual inspiration of the music as well.
Same.
Because I haven't written shit
I think
since we've been
this
together.
is
Is
a new
my
theory
point.
that I came up with 5 minutes ago. So I'm
No, but I think you're on to something, dude. Because I haven't written shit since I've been
you got to be hungry
since I've been
for
married.
it,
The only thing I've written good is when I'm writing a part to something somebody else has already written.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I'm doing musically is either somebody else's deal that I'm a part of,
right?
or I'm trying to fucking piece together and finish up shit I wrote before I met my wife.
Do you feel like you overthink it?
No, I'm the opposite. As a musician, I'm very the opposite. I'll think methodically about shit once it's done. Okay, here's our demo, and I'll listen to it 1,000 times and be like, dude, honestly, man, the second transition out of the second chorus is gay. We gotta get rid of that. That's just dumb. What are we doing, bro? This is weak. That, I'll do that, but I don't even think that's overthinking it. I think that's just getting past that
Overthinking
excitement,
is not ever finishing it.
Yeah, I'm the opposite of that. For me, it's all about the heart and the feel, and there's a feeling I have when we're nope, this song's done, dude. It's not done, but the demo's done. We're done writing this song. Now we're gonna demo it. Now we're gonna tweak it. We're gonna make a few adjustments to it, and then I'm this is why some people have a hard time working with me. Some people fucking love me. Is because I'm that guy when everybody's indecisive. I'll step in and just be like, "We're done. The song's finished. It's done. Clearly, we're never gonna fucking all agree about this. We're never all gonna vote and come to a consensus. Everything we're doing, none of these versions are actually better than the original version we did, and we all agreed was finished. So we're just gonna everybody just pick one thing you like. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, cool. Is the song better? No. Is the song worse? No. Okay, cool. It's done. We're moving on. Let's move on. We got shit to do, dude. Come on.
One thing
Some
think
guys
bands
can't fucking
do-
stand that, dude, because I do not have the patience to do that. What
Yeah.
you just I don't have the patience
I
anymore. I'm
think
too
some
old,
bands
dude.
get really caught up in their own niche. You know,
What do you mean? Like
they get-
like
they
death
get-
metal versus like
well, not even just like death metal. Just like they get caught up in their own niche. So like,
yeah. What do you mean by that?
let's just say like, okay, well, we'll say like a band like Five Finger Death Punch. All right. Well, I'm just
Monkey see, monkey
as
do.
an example.
Monkey see, monkey
Yeah,
do.
literally. Every album. I mean, I haven't heard every album, but I can tell you just from like what I hear on the radio and shit. Sometimes it's just all the same. It's like every record does not stand out. Or the Black Dahlia Murder. Black Dahlia Murder has released the same fucking album every goddamn
You know
year,
who started that?
And
You know who started
bands
that
like
on
who?
purpose? Is AC/DC. Like
Yeah, they're a band that is caught up in their own niche.
but they admit it.
But it
it's-
works.
But
yeah, it
but
does
here's the
work.
thing: the difference is they straight up admit it that they're
it-
trying to rewrite the same album, technically the same song 13 times on
Okay.
each album.
If you were making $50
The whole
million,
their whole career is built on this,
right?
Right.
If you were making $50 million,
And they say it, by the
Yeah.
way. That's the key to
I
that.
would write the same song over and
see,
over too.
See, that's where
Coheed's
that's
kinda
that's
doing
where
the
you're
same
talking
thing.
about the hunger and like the struggle stops because they
Yeah.
found what they want, what they can do, and they keep going there. So like a band like we'll say like Metallica or like the band Death, each album you can tell it's the same band. Okay, maybe not Metallica to every album, but
No. That's
No,
right.
you're on
each
it, though.
album.
You're doing a great job, but turn that closer to you.
Oh, sure.
Like,
Each-
make it
There we go.
comfortable, and then you can move that fucker so you can stay comfortable and just pull it in and move it out. Yeah.
I
You're
got
good,
you here.
dude.
Like,
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, so
Wherever you're more comfortable, man.
In that fridge?
yeah, take it.
Yeah.
Each album slightly progresses.
Is that better, Murph?
You know, each album slightly progresses, and you can tell it's the same band, but it just keeps getting better, and it's a little different every time.
Metallica is a good example of that.
See if Metallica released, Kill 'Em All, and then the next album was
The Black Album?
Injustice or Black Album, it'd be like, what the hell? That progression is
Right. Nope.
not there.
That's a great example.
You know?
Metallica is a great example of that. I don't know enough about Death. I'll just take your word for it. Coheed definitely did that. Misery Signals definitely did that. Lamb of God definitely did that.
Okay.
Mm.
I'm going to jump in right now and say this. It took me
Pantera too.
Pantera,
Pantera definitely did that. Guns N' Roses
Lamb
did
of
that.
God. Okay.
Actually, Guns N' Roses did not do that. Guns,
Guns
N'
N'
Roses
Roses-
just
no.
stayed exactly
Guns N' Roses
the same.
They released one good album.
Guns N' Roses wrote the best
Well,
debut rock
well,
album
come
of
on,
all
man.
time.
Hold on.
Whoa.
GNR Lies is a great album.
Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 are great albums.
Yeah,
I don't think the
I was
whole
just
thing,
gonna say.
But
I think half of it's good, and then just like there's filler.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Okay, if you take the two albums, they could have wrote one Use Your Illusion album and it would have been a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it would have been all
Do you know
killer,
what I
no
mean?
filler. Yeah.
If they didn't do 1 and 2,
yeah.
if they just did Guns N' Roses Use Your Illusion.
Between Don't Cry and November Rain, you've got two of the greatest fucking power
Almost.
ballads
Yeah.
of all time ever written.
Agreed.
100%. But then you got, songs like Bad Apples. It's just like,
Yeah.
what is it?
And Civil War was a cover.
Right.
No, Civil War's
No,
not a cover.
Knocking
I'm
on
thinking
Heaven's
of
Door.
Knocking on Heaven's Door.
and
Bob Dylan
and
cover on that.
yeah,
I
the
think there
Paul
was another
McCartney
cover.
song. Da-na-na,
Don't, Live and Let Die.
da-na-na,
Live and Let Die.
Live and Let Die.
I could hear it in my head, and I'm like, what is the name of this song? Yeah. So Guns N' Roses, bad example, but no, I think you're right. Dude. Like, there's certain bands that did it like that, and it works, dude. It's like, and then on the opposite side of the spectrum, and I don't know if this is where you guys were going with this, but like, it's definitely something that popped in my head just now. Is on the opposite side of the spectrum, you have pop artists that completely try to reinvent themselves from album to album, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm thinking more
can't-
like Madonna.
I can't really
sure.
think of a...
Michael Jackson. I'm thinking like pop. You know what I mean?
I just never could get into Michael Jackson.
Oh,
I
dude,
never-
he's the
I'm
shit.
actually not
You're
too
too young.
familiar, man.
You're just too young. dude.
No, I like a lot of music though. I don't just
Fair-
like
fair.
metal.
I shouldn't
I
be
like
that.
a
Post
I like
Malone's
a
going
lot of
country
music.
now.
Not a big Post guy either.
No?
Yeah, Post. Here's the thing. Post is cool.
He's cool.
He's dope. He writes amazing songs, but he's not actually a good lead singer, and he admits it. Like auto tune.
Very auto.
You go see him live, he's just singing along to his own song.
Yeah, and
it's just a good time.
And he does use auto tune live. Like, and he'll admit it. He'd be like, "Yeah, dude." He's like, "I can't hit half those notes, bro, but like, I can get close enough to where the auto tune fixes it." And he's got a great sounding voice. Like, you know who another example of that is? Anthony Kiedis. That motherfucker, dude. Every other show you see him, he's tone deaf and off key. And then the next show, he's like perfect in the pocket. And then the next show, you're like,
that's kind of
what is he listening to? For real.
That's kind of how Brent Smith is too.
Who?
Brent Smith, Shinedown.
Oh, okay.
He'll go out. Dave Grohl does that too. I feel like Dave Grohl. I've watched videos of him and I've been like, holy shit, that's perfect.
Yeah.
And I've watched videos of him and he's like, dumping beer on his head. Just sounds horrible.
Dave Grohl is an incredible musician.
He is incredible. Now, did you like him better as a drummer with Nirvana or fronting Foo Fighters?
Foo Fighters. For me.
See, me, I like Nirvana. A lot of people don't like
so
Nirvana.
I don't like Nirvana.
Okay, that's fine.
But
I'm
that's not the question you asked me.
That's not the question I asked you.
The question you asked me was, do I like him better as a drummer in Nirvana
That's
or
correct.
as
I
the
did
front
ask you
of
that.
Foo Fighters?
Now,
So
what do you
technically, I would still say Foo Fighters, but I really like Dave as a drummer.
I do too.
So I do like his drumming in Nirvana. I think it makes the band. I loved his drumming with Queens of the Stone Age. I love his drumming with Tenacious D.
That. Oh yeah.
Dude, that first one with Wonder Boy and fucking Tribute, like that Tenacious D album fucking slaps. Like I actually put that album in my like drumming, let's have some fun and jam along.
Oh, nice.
That's in my rotation. Like, and I'll just do most of that album, like from front to back, dude. Like, I'll even play along to Fuck Her Gently a little bit, which there's no drums in that, but I'll even still like fucking rib shop.
How do you feel about Steel Panther then?
So I have a soft spot in my heart for Steel Panther because Satchel is one of the funniest dudes I've ever experienced in my life. Dude, I watched his guitar instruction videos on guitarworld.com or whatever it was. And then I remember his ads for his guitar pedals. And I remember when they tried to cancel him because his album, his guitar pedal, not his album.
Isn't it called
his guitar pedal was called the Panty Dropper.
Oh, man.
And then it got canceled because it was too rapey. So somehow he convinced TC Electronics to rename it the Pussy Melter. And I'm like, this is the guy. This is the fucking man, dude. Like, dude, come on. He's awesome. That band's hilarious. I don't like any of their music. I like their style of music. You know that. That's why I became a fan of Stormbreaker right away. Because I love that style of music. So even if I don't love any of the songs, I just love the genre, dude. There it is, the Pussy Melter.
Amazing.
So that's the second version. The original one was called the Panty Dropper, and he got canceled for it. They tried to cancel it. Is it TC Electronics? Am I right? Who's the company that makes it? Get rid of that sign in with Google thing. Exit that out. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't say. I can't see it on the pedal either. I swear it was TC Electronics.
It's a good pedal.
Oh, it might be Electro Harmonics.
Billy has that pedal.
It's a great pedal.
It is a good pedal.
It's a fucking great pedal, dude. Yeah, and then his guitar instructional video when he was talking about how he learned like bending notes. He's like, so I was like 14 years old. And I had taken a little too much acid. And I was sitting in my room and I was trying to practice my scales. And here's what happened. I accidentally bent this note. And I was like, whoa, that was cool. That was cool. And so I was doing my scale and then I would bend a note and then slide up and finish my scale. And I was like, oh, this is fucking rad.
So the question,
his philosophy, because they all do that. All all these instructional guys, they like try to tell you some sort of like metaphor or philosophical lesson in the teaching of this.
He's just like a little kid.
He's just straight up entertaining the whole. It's all about having fun and laughing and enjoying it, because that's what rock and roll was. It was about the party. It wasn't about being elite at your instrument. It was about having a great time. It was about the party.
I do think Guns N' Roses
fun.
and Motley Crue are the best two at that.
Partying?
Just partying, rock and roll. Don't have Motley Crue. They're average musicians at best. I'm sorry, with the exception of Mick Mars. I think Tommy Lee and Nikki Sixx, purely average musicians.
Dude, Tommy Lee though on the first album kicks ass.
I mean,
he's good.
Yeah. Now, are we talking about technical skills or songwriting?
I'm talking technical skills.
Because Tommy Lee is an elite level songwriter as a drummer. From a drumming perspective, when you're trying to write the best drums for the best example of Tommy Lee before Tommy Lee is Ringo Starr.
Oh, sure.
Ringo Starr was not even that's the whole thing is
he wrote for the song.
Was he the best drummer in the Beatles or in the world? And the Beatles were like, he's not even the best drummer in the Beatles. But he was the best songwriter in the Beatles. And that's what even John Lennon said. He goes, Ringo's actually the sneaky goat. Like, Ringo's the one who like zero us in on the right idea. We came up with 6 ideas ago.
You never even hear about that.
Right.
You know?
I mean, you'll hear it in old John Lennon interviews. Super, super, super old John Lennon interviews. But, I mean, he wrote This Guitar Gently Weeps. Like
oh, wow.
He's the man. No. Was that George Harrison? Or was that Ringo Starr?
They all had number ones at some point.
I think My Guitar Gently Weeps is look that up. Look who wrote My Guitar Gently Weeps. I think that's George Harrison.
What do you guys think about that cover with fucking, Prince and the other dudes on there? You know what I'm talking about?
No,
I don't know what you're talking about.
The live version of As My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Oh, that was amazing. The live performance with Tom Petty. And,
yeah.
Oh, dude, that is. Murph, pull that up, dude.
I was never a fan.
And we got to
of
get this
Prince's
volume
solo,
situation
man. Like,
fixed.
it was good, but it wasn't like crazy,
Oh, you know what? I bet it is.
George Harrison.
Okay, so it is George Harrison. I guarantee you, I know what it is. Here's why we can't hear any of that shit up here, dude. You need to open up that Focusrite app. Here, throw it up on this screen. Let's do this quick. Let's get this over with. We're still working out the kinks of having the producer. There you go. Now go down. On the left-hand side, scroll down. Okay, you see that fucking loop back? Down at the bottom, click on that big gray box, loop back.
Let me get this.
Oh, this is fucked.
Well, not.
This is killing me.
This app sucks. Can't make it bigger.
You can make it.
Yeah, there's not much I can do with
Okay, so anyways, go to the left and scroll down to the loop back. Jesus Christ.
It's there. I can't go.
Click it. Click the big loop back. Yep, there you go.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now, oh, fuck, that's not right either. Jesus Christ. I'm losing my mind, dude. All right, never mind.
Yep.
All right, skip it. I was hoping we could pull that video up, but we're not going to be able to fucking hear it.
Well,
R.I.P.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
We're talking about My Guitar Gently Weeps. So, yeah. Tommy Lee sucks. That's what we were really talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
because he did write to the song, and
so
he wrote like.
Yeah. And I was going to say,
he helped write Head Bobbers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A perfect example, again, with that is, like, I'll say with the exception of And Justice for All, I mean, Lars is an average drummer, but great songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
There was a period of time where you could argue he was one of the best in the world, which is Master of Puppets and And Justice for All.
And I agree. No, I'm not taking anything away from Lars at all. Everyone shits on him.
I think he's a pioneer.
No, I agree. And we were just talking about this.
Dude, he had like a 6-7 year run where he was literally, arguably, one of the best in the world.
No, I agree. But I'm saying that is part and due to his songwriting.
Right. Oh, for sure. But there was also the innovation, like the chops he was working with. Like it's almost like, you know how these fucking annoying fucking lefties try to compare like people from the past to today's morals and standards.
Sure.
They're like, that guy had slaves. And it's like, bitch, everybody had slaves. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you can't. That's a thing, right? Back then, it's kind of the other direction. Like, they didn't have those chops. Like it was him, the dude from Slayer, and fucking oh my god, Pantera drummer. Oh my god.
Oh, Vinnie Paul.
Vinny.
Yeah.
I wanted to say Gene. Am I thinking of Gene Hoglan?
Oh, maybe.
I think that's who I was thinking of.
He's awesome.
No, Vinnie Paul. Right? So you just didn't have like a lot of drummers doing that kind of songwriting / technical playing. You know, fast double bass, like really getting into it and shit. There was like 3 major bands that were doing it. Of course, you had all the you know, was
Dave Lombardo, Slayer. Back in the day.
yeah, Slayer.
He had
I mean, I guess you could put Megadeth in there already. Yeah.
What year are we talking?
You know, early mid 80s.
Early mid 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had Anthrax and well, I don't know. Metallica was kind of the first ones, that whole Bay Area, you know, with Exodus and everyone, and then you know everyone kind of, I don't know, the Big Four. That was the original.
Yeah, it was the Big Four.
You know, Slayer.
I mean,
and you know, Megadeth. You know, came out '84. I think he was already jammed with everyone. Yeah, a year later.
So now, who was the first? When was Nick Menza in Megadeth? That wasn't late till later.
Late '80s.
He was like the second or third drummer in Megadeth.
So who was
right?
who was his first drummer then? I don't even know.
Was it look? I remember his name. Look up the first drummer of Megadeth. I'm pretty sure that's the dude who was like, he's famous for saying, if you want to be great, you got to do heroin. I'm pretty sure. And his name is something like Lars too.
Oh sure.
Like it's like European, like Norwegian or some shit. Is it Guff? No, it's not Guff. Who? Yeah. We got to figure this out. So he'll throw it up on the screen.
The first album was "Killing Is My Business." So.
Original drummer for Megadeth. No, it's not Nick Menza. No, it's not the original drummer. No, just right there at the top. The original lineup is Lee Roch. Okay, it's not him then. No. That's not the guy I'm talking about.
Okay, hold on.
So Nick Menza's definitely like, okay, there you go. Perfect.
Wasn't there something with Kerry King? Didn't he try out for Megadeth, or wasn't there something there?
Yeah, he was.
Hold on. You're going way too fast. Slow down. Okay. So, okay, keep going a little bit. No. So they had a bunch of drummers. It's not Richard Groyd.
Jeez.
It's not Dijon Carruthers.
Gosh.
Slow down. Yeah. It's not him. Keep going.
This is it for 80.
Okay, keep going.
Last one.
Keep going.
How many drummers have they had? We should count.
Kerry King was in Megadeth.
Yes, he was.
Okay. No, keep going.
Oh, here we go.
Gar Samuelson. Gar Samuelson is the guy who fucking got Dave Mustaine on heroin.
Here we go.
And that was he's famous.
Holy shit.
He's famous. So Gar Samuelson.
Oh my. Look at this.
So Gar Samuelson.
3, 4,
You guys
5.
listen to me. Gar Samuelson's famous line in Megadeth is, if you want to be great, you got to do heroin.
They've had 17 drummers. I just counted. 17 in 38 years. Well, I guess 40 now.
That's incredible. Can you really count that fast? That was really impressive. Did you really count 17?
I really just counted 17 drummers.
You can do that? You can count a list of things that fast? That's impressive, dude. Yeah, I know. That's the third time you say. That's the third time you said. I just did.
I just did. Well, I just did.
Is he right? Did you count it also at 17?
That's not all drummers, dude. That's
no. I counted. Yeah, I counted.
I see.
No, do it. Let's see if I was right.
Okay, no, nobody's speaking. 1,
Nobody's
2, 3,
counting.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, that's the orange is tours?
The orange is drums, yellow is tour.
Okay, no, it's only 11, dude. You're way off.
Dude, I'm
bro.
wrong. I counted from the top.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 11.
Yeah.
Okay, but I thought the purple. I didn't see the purple when you were slid over to the left.
Yeah,
So.
it's 11. Dude,
So what is the purple?
you seriously impressed me for about 7 seconds.
Okay,
and he just kept going. Yeah, I just did.
No,
I just did. And you were wrong, bro.
No, I wasn't. Okay, who the hell would have thought that they would have a piano player?
That makes sense at the very end when they did that weird shit with what was it, Risk in that other album? They went all fucking
That was trash.
goofy. They went all goofy on it. My little brother, he's about your guys' age. How old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay, he's a little younger than you. He's about your age, 22, 23,
I'm
something
turning
like that.
22 in a couple weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, and my little brother, dude, you guys are super cool. I love your generation because your generation is basically one of two things: either completely fucked or super dope. Like
What are we?
honestly, you guys are cool as fuck. No, you guys are cool as fuck. No, you guys are cool as fuck, man. Because seriously, like, you guys either like seem to have your head on your shoulders, you're well informed, you really know how to navigate the internet and sift out people's bullshit, and like, dude, you guys are so good at just like not being like manipulated. And it's really impressive. Or you're completely manipulated and you're just an absolute, like when we make fun of the boomers for listening to Fox News and CNN.
All right.
There's that version in your generation on the internet.
Right.
And they listen to the same exact people, but it's just on Twitter. But it's the same ill-informed morons.
I don't even have Twitter.
And it's just cool, man, because like the cool version of your generation has great taste in music. You appreciate like the guys who came before you, and it's awesome. It's like super encouraging, and like it gives me hope, dude, for real.
Hell yeah, no, that's cool.
I don't know why I brought that up, but I gotta piss. So what are we doing here? Did either of you guys send tracks?
I
You
mean,
fucking bitches.
Play one of your songs.
sure.
Well, we can't because
Yeah.
you didn't send tracks.
Well, you can
Cunt.
use it on YouTube.
Yeah, I
Cunt.
guess so. Yeah. I mean, what kind of do you need? Like MP3s? Or do you just need, like, a
Well, I mean,
Spotify link?
honestly, now at this point, we're probably going to get flagged for it. So first, do we have permission to play one of your tracks?
You do.
Okay.
Yes.
Which track would you like us to play? This is death metal too, which is like my least favorite genre of music. But
you can play.
but I'm friends with so many death metal musicians because I'm a metalhead and I have so much respect for you guys. I'm still like, yeah,
Sure.
of course. I love you guys. Come on.
I wouldn't really
promote your
call
music.
this one like a shreddy song. It's just I think it's a good song.
Is this the one that you have a video on for your Facebook?
Yeah, like the music video.
Yeah, is that song?
Yeah, have you seen that one?
I checked it out today. Yeah.
Okay, you can check out that one, or I can play a different one.
We can do that one because Steve, you can throw the video up while I
Yeah,
piss or
what
we
is it?
piss.
Yeah, it's
Go
called.
to his Facebook page. It's
on Facebook?
just type in Silva Band Minnesota. This is how I found it.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Say that one's just like it's
And
not
then-
too long.
And then
Not too
on their
short.
Facebook page, like in one of those tabs to the right, it says videos or something.
What's the page?
Just Silva, Silva,
Official.
Band Minnesota, and you'll just get the fucking Google link, dude, to his Facebook page. Like, definitely going to be number one. Oh, this is killing me not being able to see this. This is driving me nuts. I'm such a control freak.
Yeah.
This is going to be good for me having a producer because I need it. But we definitely need to be more on this for sure.
Silva Official.
Yeah. Yeah, that one, dude. Yeah. See, even Jeremy's fucking freaking. Dude, will you put it on this screen so I can walk you through this? There you go. That's the video.
This
And
one?
then when you hit play,
Yeah, I gotta set it up.
okay. We'll get it going.
I don't know, man. Sometimes it's kind of weird to interact with people. It can either be really awkward or really cool, and there's no in between. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
that
about?
seems to be the truth.
And you always don't ever want it to be
Yeah,
awkward.
nobody wants it to be
No.
awkward, right?
I don't know. Sometimes it just is. But what you were saying earlier, I think it just kind of you just have to kind of just let loose,
Yeah.
and just be you, kind of like when no one's around, I guess.
So, how long have you been in this band? Is this your band? Did you start this band?
I started this in 2019.
All right.
Just me, and then
Jeremy, will you grab us a beer while he
around
Yeah,
like
yeah.
sets this up?
2020, I finished writing everything, and then 2021, I met up with Aaron, and then we started.
How gay is Aaron?
Aaron's awesome, man. He's an awesome dude,
Oh, yeah.
and
Awesomely gay. I love that guy. I've known him for so long, dude.
All right.
When I started playing drums, he gave me a bunch of broken cymbals to practice on. I fucking love that guy. He's been on the podcast a few times, but
nice.
that's why I'm talking so much shit about him. He would have it no other way.
Oh no, yeah, he's
Maybe
a
not from the
cool
rest
guy.
of you, but my relationship with him.
I'm this.
Play the video?
Yeah, is the audio going to come through at a reasonable volume?
I don't know. We'll see.
Well, look at OBS and see what it does.
I got something.
Okay,
Let's see what happens.
all right. Well, it's definitely on mute. I can see it's on mute. I can see the little speaker in the right-hand corner with the X on it.
Yeah.
It's on mute.
There we go.
Yeah, it's just so quiet, dude. Yeah, like something's not right, dude. I got to take a leak anyways.
Yeah. Let's vibe out.
Vibe out.
Now, can they hear us talking as this plays? Okay, don't do that. Mute it. Here, I can do that. Yeah, so from a drumming perspective, dude, it's just so impressive to be able to do that for that long. That's where guys like Aaron Lonick, John Gensmer, all those death metal drummers, black metal drummers even, that's where you guys just like, shout out to all you guys, man. You guys are so impressive when it comes to that shit, dude. Because that's where like the real athletic level comes in. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... Because it's interesting with death metal guitars, it does seem to be more about, like you said, like the texture and the songwriting.
It definitely depends. Like if you want to get all kind of
like, it's not a physically like, oh my god, look what he's doing. Like,
right.
I mean, it is for a lot of people, but like,
yeah, like I don't know if you're listening to like technical death metal band. Like, I don't know, have you guys ever heard of Necrophagus before?
So
I've heard of it, but
yeah,
I'm not a death metal guy.
I actually ran into a death metal band at the airport a couple months ago, Archspire.
Oh yeah, they're crazy.
I ran into...
Or are they doing like a seance in the bathroom?
Just,
they were on the way to...
You can't remember the song, but it's insane.
Yeah.
From how technical it is.
So as a death metal artist, who inspires that? And do you listen to other death metal artists?
Yeah.
Or do you listen to outside your genre for inspiration?
I mean, I mostly listen to a lot of, 80s shit and country music.
Really?
That's kind of my main thing. But I love...
do you get inspiration for like literal chord progressions from those? And you're like, oh, if I switch that to a minor, it would be all death metal. Do you ever do that?
Sometimes, yeah. I have a song on here that's just a country folk song. And there's no lyrics. It's just... all instrumental with 12 string
cool.
and an acoustic. And when I get inspiration for this, it's all about, I don't know, man. When you're talking about that, I love King Diamond, I love Metallica, I love old school death metal bands like Death, where it's like very thrash, inspired. There's a lot of Swedish bands, like and I don't know. It's kind of like a morph. I tried to morph kind of everything that I like.
For sure.
From Motley Crue to fucking Immortal.
Well, I guess here's the like evolved version of the question I just asked. I'm going to ask it again in a different way. Is like, I got to set this up first. So I think one of the things I'm most impressed by in music that transcends genres, styles, instruments even, is when if it's a truly great song, you can rewrite that exact song in a polka, in a folk song.
I agree.
In a metal song, in a hip hop song, in a funk song. Like, I can change the genre. We can even slightly tweak the chord progression to make it go more major. Right? But it's still going to be kind of a banger no matter what you do with it, because it's a great fucking song. So that's why I said, do you ever hear something outside of your genre that you're writing in where you're like, oh, fuck, dude, that's a sweet chord progression. And if we changed this fucking F, to a G or whatever, a fucking F sharp or whatever the fuck you want to call it, in either direction, you're like, oh, we could make that like actually kind of a badass like death metal progression. Does that, because I do that in rock music and in regular, what I would call regular metal, and honestly at this point shit's so crazy out there, I'd even call it like soft metal.
What do you consider?
You know what I mean?
What
it's
do you
like,
consider regular metal? Maiden?
No, that honestly, the way I put Maiden and even old Metallica and all of that is, it's like the way we used to classify classic rock.
Sure.
Right? That's like classic metal.
So then what would you call the Eagles?
That's still classic rock.
So you would throw Maiden and Eagles in the same genre?
No, I'm saying like
from a large, big picture.
I would call that style metal classic metal.
Okay, classic metal.
Yep, that's classic metal.
I can get behind that.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because it's like that's because when the Eagles were around, you didn't call them classic rock. That was just rock.
It's like
you see what I'm saying? Like
as
the
generations go, stuff gets lighter.
Yeah, and it also gets like rebranded. So when the Doors were out, and when Jimi Hendrix was out, when all of those bands, that wasn't classic rock.
Right.
That was just rock.
Right.
And some even said that was heavy metal.
I was going to say, it's funny because some people
like Led Zeppelin.
Like, oh, that's metal, dude.
Right.
Led Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix were and I'm like, no, it was Black Sabbath. But either way, like to today's standards of what heavy metal is, Black Sabbath never was. Right. They were the heaviest classic rock
We
band
owe
all around,
everything.
right?
We owe everything to Black Sabbath.
Right.
Dude, it's
Right.
At
And
the
same
end of the
thing with
day.
Led Zeppelin.
At the end of the day.
But then there was a period of time where people said that Van Halen was heavy metal. Yeah, I get it. They kind of were, but they never were in nowadays standards, right?
So now, are you a Roth or Hagar guy?
Oh, big time Roth, and it's not close. Like if you forced me to, like, I would kill Sammy Hagar.
Wow.
Wow, that's bold.
God. Jesus.
I would like just put a bullet in that dude's head.
God.
Like let's just move on, dude.
All right.
It's not close.
R.I.P.
dude.
the
It's
Red
not,
Rocker.
It's not close. I don't like Sammy Hagar. Like I
Just as a person,
dislike him.
You don't like him?
His personality, his music style, everything about him. I just think is
Elaborate
just.
more on that.
Oh, yeah, I need to hear
I
more,
can't
'cause I
stand
dig
him,
it.
dude. I can't stand him, dude.
No, I like both.
I can't fucking stand him.
I love
I think
5150.
I think he was a subpar dude, and I just, if he was a musician now, he would not make it.
You heard Montrose before, man?
Well, I could say this. You could say the same about every.
No.
Oh, dude, it's his first band.
You could say the same about every
Rips.
rocker now. Do you think Def Leppard would be big if they were made in 2024? Hell no.
No, man. That'd be the
Do you think
laughing
Metallica
stock.
would? No. You can say the same about every rock band in 2024.
You have tons
Think
of
about-
bands,
think about
though.
that.
You might be
about that.
right.
I
You
am
might be
right.
right. You might be right.
I'm right.
You might be right. I'll ponder that one for a while because that question deserves pondering. You
It
know, I
deserves
hate it when
pondering.
people do when you like say something legitimate to people, and they like as you're finishing your idea, they're already arguing with it. I fucking can't stand that, dude. Like I hate that so much,
Just
and I
finish
noticed
it.
myself doing that for a while. So I'm like,
I
so
agree
this
with-
is what I'm
okay,
saying. Is
okay,
like
I'll
what
let
you
you
just
ponder
said
it. I'll
is
let you
so
ponder.
legit. I'm like, okay, let me sit on that for a while. I might not even get to it this podcast. It might be 2 podcasts from now. I bring it up and I'm like, by the way, shout out to Jeremy. You were right.
Yeah.
You know, or I might fucking on that be like, here's my argument against that. And
All right.
unfortunately, you're not there to defend. You know, but
so I'm gonna
it's a good
yeah.
point you made,
Yeah.
dude. I'll give you that.
So I'm gonna need your thoughts here, straight up. What are your thoughts on the band Creed?
So I was a big Creed fan for their first 2 albums because I was like 13, 14. And I don't know. It was cool. It was cool because they were very different for what was going on at the time. Like we were coming out of the era of like Smashing Pumpkins and all this whiny alternative bullshit. And we were starting to get back into hard rock. Godsmack came out right around that same time.
Godsmack's all right.
I mean,
I never
again,
really
at
got
the
into
time,
that
you
much,
guys got to
but-
understand at the time,
So
this
when was
was
this?
like,
2000.
oh, this was like late 90s, dude. Like
No,
98,
I think-
97, 98, 99.
I think Creed's debut album came out in '98. And
That's
then
what I'm saying,
And then
yeah.
I think
Yeah, late
what
90s
was
or
the
early
yellow one called?
I don't remember.
Clay Human.
Human
Something
Clay
like
or
that.
Human
something.
see the
Clay
album
came out in
cover.
2001.
Yeah,
Now-
by their third album, Scott Stepp became very difficult to swallow. Like he became a problem in the music videos, in his personality. I was a Christian, I still am a Christian,
Yeah.
but I'm saying I was a Christian at the time as well, and I found him distasteful with how preachy and pretentious he got. Like
Why is that? Elaborate.
there was a literal point. This was common knowledge at the time, where they had difficulty finishing a music video because he wanted more shots of him doing the Jesus pose, because that was his big thing, is he would like hold out his arms like he was Jesus, and it was just like he became what you guys would call cringe.
Okay,
Like-
I will say they're music videos, but I'm saying from a straight music standpoint, I think they're fucking amazing.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Mark
I
Tremonti's
do.
the shit. Here's the thing, Mark Tremonti's the shit. They had
Okay.
a dope fucking drummer.
Yeah.
That first album they did by themselves, they had like fucking 4 bangers on that first
Oh.
album, dude.
Oh yeah.
They were awesome,
Amazing.
especially for the time, because again, when they came out, like, yeah, we had Korn, but Korn wasn't really even the biggest band in the world yet. There was a period of time where Korn was the biggest band in the world. Like when they got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, when Metallica got inducted into the Hall of Fame, Korn did one of the songs.
One.
And Lars was like, we see them as peers to us. That's how big Korn had gotten by that time.
Korn's good.
This is before that, is what I'm saying. So it doesn't matter what we think of Korn. I'm saying what like the elites of the industry thought of Korn. So this is even before they had become the biggest band in the world. This is before the Slipknots. This is before the Seven Dusts. This is like we were coming out of No Doubt, Smashing Pumpkins.
Offspring type?
Yeah. Yeah. Like there was no heavy popular music. There was none. And I would say it was almost a 10-year run, it felt like. You had Nirvana, kinda.
So you're talking like 92 to 02.
I think
Yeah,
Sepultura
dude, it
had a
was brutal.
huge
I'm not,
influence.
but I'm saying what was on the radio.
Oh,
dude.
sure.
Yeah, you're
That's
not
all
just
I'm
gonna-
talking
yeah.
about is what was on the radio because
Now-
we didn't have streaming. Like all of the what your generation knows, and even
So-
yours a little bit. Like none of that was like your access to new music was two things. You either are old enough to go to concerts and discover new up and coming bands, right? First Avenue, shit like that, local bands, right? Especially if you're in a town like Minneapolis, Chicago, L.A., Nashville, New York, like those had thriving music scenes at the time. Or you listen to the fucking radio, right? And by 15, I had already understood that what I'm hearing on the radio is old music that these guys wrote 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Damn.
So that's when my mindset already started changing. Like, I got to figure out how to get to the newest music out there so I can be inspired by the newest, hippest shit. So by the time I'm putting shit out there, it's radio ready. Instead of like, because what everybody else did is, well, Limp Bizkit is popular. We need to sound like Limp Bizkit. Well, cool, but once you write that album, once you promote that album, once you play that album, once you build that fan base, Limp Bizkit's not even popular anymore. You know what I mean? Now
sense.
it's Kill Switch Engage.
I get what you mean.
And then they became and I watched local bands do this. They went from being literally Limp Bizkit to literally Kill Switch Engage. You see what I'm saying? Like they just flipped. And I'm like, well, I just figured it out really young. Don't do that. Like we got to get ahead of the curve.
I get what you mean.
I never did
understand
it.
what you mean.
I never really truly did it. I think I finally found my own style and sound in like my mid 20s.
That's good.
Like it took a long time. It was like 10, 15 years, dude. Because I started at like 12.
Okay.
I started making music at like 12.
That's early, man.
And it sucked until I was like 17. It was all horrible, dude.
How did you proceed to get better? Like, what were some techniques that you found that helped for yourself?
I have this uncanny ability to self-analyze physically. So I can I did this in sports where I figured out how to become a better football player by like literally doing something full speed and then breaking it down and slowing it down and watching my own body.
Form.
Yeah, dude. I don't know how I did it. Somebody probably taught it to me. But it's this and I did it as a musician. I still do it to this day. Like, I'll be like, oh, my fucking fills aren't right. And I'm like, okay, what's going on with my fills? You know, and then I'll break it down and I'll be playing and I'll be, oh, it's my left hand. What's wrong with my left hand? Why is my left hand? Okay. And then it's not just putting in 10,000 hours. It's putting in 10,000 like methodical hours. So I've always, you hear this from a lot of people. I'll outwork everybody. I don't do that. There's other people that work a lot harder than me, and
I feel the
they
same way.
suck, and they suck because they're not working efficiently, right? So like what I can do in 45 minutes to an hour and get what improvement I get out of that 45 minutes to an hour to not everybody, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm better than anybody, but to a lot of guys I've learned would take them 3 hours because they're not thinking. They're just doing it. You see what I'm saying? So they might be literally building bad habits.
Right.
So I'm like trying to be efficient in like what is happening with every single movement and every single stroke. Like, and where I'm at right now is obviously I need to really improve my left hand as a drummer, but I'm also really practicing on my dynamics. So being able to go super soft and get into ghost notes and shuffles and then build that up into a dramatic climax and actually like throw down almost like a hardcore drummer. Doodle-a-doon, doodle-a-pop. You know what I mean? And just really being able to crack that snare and then coming back down. Like that kind of shit. You know what I mean? So I'm almost there. It's taken a long time because I forgot how to do that. What about you?
With songwriting?
Well, getting better and improving from sucking, like what methodically do you, because songwriting, I don't really know. I think it was just writing a lot of shitty songs and like.
I think for me, it took, as like, being a better player, just I always wanted to surround myself with better players than me. In
Yeah, me
bands and
too.
shit. And,
Yeah.
I didn't know that in the beginning. Just kind of
That's a great attribute
did
to
my
have,
thing,
though.
and then, later on, just tried to kind of do that, because then, if you're in a good room with people, you kind of just feed off. And then, by yourself though, when you really want to practice by yourself, I just tried to dive into really hard shit and just slow it down and try to get faster as I.
Do you know Pat Ruland?
What?
Do you know Pat Ruland?
I do.
So I was in a band with him, Solace and Ashes, way back in the day.
Cool.
His first band. And I had never heard this concept. I had never tried this. But they had this song that I think we ended up keeping and putting on our shitty demo. But when I auditioned for that band, they were a different band.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, well, when we wrote this song, we literally tried to write a song we couldn't physically play. So they wrote something, and then I don't know if they sped it up or they added to it or whatever.
I kind of like that.
But they literally pushed themselves. And I was just really impressed by that. And that was one of the statements they made during, and I don't think they knew what they were saying. They didn't say that in a way to try to recruit me. They just were just being genuine and honest. They were we just wanted to do something we literally couldn't pull off. And then they did. And it was really good. And I was this shit's kind of dope. And I've definitely done that from time to time where I'm I'm going to write a song that's going to sound like absolute shit because I can't do this. But I know what I want to do when I hear it in my head. So I'm just going to, once I write it, I'm going to keep practicing it until I can execute it.
Do you just like the riff out, or do you have a little tune that you hear in your head that you try to figure out?
It's usually a tone or a tune I hear in my head.
Nice.
What about you?
A little bit of both.
As a
Sometimes.
bass player, do you get to do any of this fun stuff?
That's a good
Well,
question.
Since you're not the primary songwriter?
Well, I was going to say I started out on guitar. I didn't start out on I switched to bass to join Stormbreaker.
Okay.
I think you knew that. But
I don't think I did know that.
you didn't know that.
You might have told me,
Yeah,
dude, and I just forgot, dude.
so-
I'm sorry.
So no,
I have a lot of fucking conversations.
I mean, I started playing guitar when I was 12, and then I played. I did a little school for it in high school. I learned theory, and then I just kept playing. And then when I was just about to turn 18, I went to see Hairball, and the opening band was Stormbreaker, and I was like, wow, these guys are fucking sweet, man. And Logan ended up coming out to the crowd, and I ended up becoming best friends with him. And then, a few months later, he's like, I don't know, if our bass player's cutting it. And I was like, I play guitar, man, and I love Motley Crue. I was like,
So you were a fan of the genre before
I was
you
a fan of
joined.
Stormbreaker.
That's really cool.
But you were a fan of
Oh yeah,
the genre before you saw Stormbreaker.
Correct.
Is the point.
Correct. I
Okay.
went to see Hairball, and they were opening, and he was, he called me. He was like, "Yeah, man, we just, on good terms, nothing bad. We let our bass player go." And I was like, "Well, man, I play guitar, and but I would switch to bass to play with Stormbreaker, and went and bought a bass rig and joined Stormbreaker." So I started playing bass when I joined Stormbreaker.
Would you have done that for any other band?
No.
Yeah.
Ninth Planet Out, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe the Issue. That's the only two maybe. Probably Stormbreaker and Ninth Planet Out are the
Dude.
only two I would do. And honestly, man,
Kyle is such a good bass player. For
Kyle
the
is
issue.
amazing, and
He's
I know he
one
would
of my
know.
favorite bass players.
No, he's
in time.
amazing. He's amazing. I will give him that. I'm not sure if I would.
Not only is he good, but he has such a fun stage presence and vibe.
He's good.
He's got such a
Very
great
good.
energy about him too. You have that same thing. You have a legitimate commanding stage presence. So you could do the Van Halen domp and it would still be fucking fun. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's hard to do, bro.
Yeah, I
It's
appreciate
hard
that.
to play anything and be fun to watch. So this is what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to start the podcast off with this, but do you guys know about the upcoming AI and everything that's happening with AI and
Scary.
music
art
and
AI music.
all of it,
It's
right?
scary.
Yeah.
I have a take,
Sure.
and I want to be I haven't even told my wife this
Okay. Wow.
because I wanted to save this for the podcast.
Okay.
So I'm going to give us some hope.
Okay.
Because this is what I think is really going to happen from the bottom of my heart. Here's what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
I am already and have been bored with pretty much any electronic music, like hip hop, EDM, all of it.
Okay.
because it's very easy to create a 4 or an 8 or a 16 bar loop, hit that motherfucker on loop, on replay, and like just add in and take out instruments and add in a fucking bass drop and like pretend that's music, right? It's lazy.
I hate it.
Right? And it's super fucking boring to watch without an incredible light show. Okay? Now, here's what's about to happen. AI is about to take that same vibe and apply it to all genres of music. So I don't think, in the long run, I don't think just being catchy is going to be good enough anymore. I don't think... So the first wave, what I think is going to happen is these guys are going to use AI and they're going to like create a bunch of music and it's going to be dope and it's going to hit the charts and everybody's going to be like, oh my God, AI is the future.
So do you think that AI music will be on the radio?
Yeah, for sure. And then I think what's going to happen is they're going to go out there and they're going to perform this music, okay? And then after a while, people are going to be like, but I can literally do that in my basement. That's no longer impressive, okay?
Do you remember?
So what I think is going to happen, here's what I think is going to happen. Even if you use AI to help write your music, I think what is going to become the future of music, which is the past of music, which is how this is going to continue for us, where AI cannot replace us, is whether you write your own music or not isn't really part of my explanation. But I think it's still going to be super key that you write your own music. But here's what I think the real thing is. What's going to be entertaining about live music specifically is these guys are actually playing those instruments and they're actually playing those parts. You see what I'm saying? So anybody can write this through AI. Anybody can do this now. That's no longer going to be impressive. What's going to be impressive and what's going to be entertaining is you being able to physically actually play that on a guitar or on a saxophone or on a piano and perform it live. People are going to appreciate it way more than they ever have.
So
I really believe this from the bottom. So it might take 20 years. Like I'm planting a seed right now for a tree that I might not be able to sit into the under the shade of. Like, and I'm being genuine with this right now, but I believe that the birth of AI in music is actually going to kill hip hop, EDM, and any just straight up electronic music.
I hope it does.
Even if you keep that style, even if you're making hip hop, even if you're making EDM, I believe in the long run, the future of that, in order for you to be respected beyond your random 12-year-old neighbor who's doing the same thing in his basement, you have to be able to get on stage and actually perform that. Play those fucking instruments. Get a band together. And when people do that, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be fucking awesome. Music record label sues AI song generators Suno and Udio for copyright infringement. Yeah, I heard about this, and they're probably going to end up losing.
Because they're training AI systems on copyrighted.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Here's the problem. Guess what the three of us did our entire career? Is trained ourselves on copyrighted material. Sure. I studied and listened to Metallica and Megadeth and Ozzy Osbourne. Like, so if you're going to sue them for doing that, then you legally set a precedence to sue me for doing the same fucking thing. You can't do that. Like, now you just killed the music business.
Right.
So no, I think it's going to come full circle, dudes.
I hope it does. I hope it does.
I'm super, because I asked this actually
I've never heard anyone have that take.
I know.
A brand new take.
I know that is definitely an original. Dude, it's rare. It's rare that anybody has a truly original thought, and that is an original one. Because that is not, and that's why I wanted to do it. That's why I saved it for this. Clip it and rip it, baby, because that's a fucking clip, dude.
That's a good.
Because I'm telling you right now, that is what I truly believe in my heart, man. I really believe that, dude.
I hope
like
it's
you're
true.
gonna, because dude, think about it. If your 12-year-old neighbor, the autistic kid, can turn out a banger like Drake, then why is Drake valuable?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's going to be valuable is going back to being a charismatic performer who can actually play the fucking instruments. Dude, if you get a Prince again, Prince will be appreciated again, right? Like, if he happened right now, no one would give a fuck.
No.
But 10 years from now, somebody's going to get it. Dude, and he could be 55 years old.
I think a lot of people...
he could be some old white dude who's just, like, badass at playing blues guitar and actually sing, and people are going to be like, I can't believe it. It's just, he speaks to my soul. And it's because they've seen him perform it, and you can feel that human connection. Like, I think this AI thing is going to kill everything, just like Napster did. and then it's going to rebound.
Well, I think right now there's
Is that an insane take?
No.
I have two takes
Let's
right
hear
now.
'em.
So first take is this.
Thank God
Is
somebody else
that-
is going to talk.
Right. So first take is that
Right.
there's just so much stimulation right now with, phones and, you can instant gratification, right?
Yeah.
And I think with that, lots of people just aren't too, entertained with music and stuff. They are, but like they don't really care about it as much as a person maybe would have before all that, because there's lots of stimulation. Don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of it.
Yeah.
But like it just leads to just big dumb fucking riffs or just riffs, just really unoriginal
Mindless.
stuff, mindless things. Thank you. And it gets popular, and I think a lot of that too is with marketing. But if you're not stimulated, you can just scroll through fucking YouTube or whatever and just listen to that, and you think it's good, or you don't really care because you just want it as background noise. Another thing too is that I don't know what's going to happen after like all these legacy bands like Metallica or whatever big
When they
bands.
die.
Testament.
gonna happen?
Megadeth.
We'll wait for
You
him
know.
to come back and bring that up. Because
Yeah,
I'd like to see
because
his take on that.
because right now they still rule, the market.
What metal band is going to be playing U.S. Bank Stadium other than Metallica?
I don't know. It might take a few years, but they rule the market right now.
You got
you know.
Metallica.
It doesn't-
Maiden is still kind of
Right, but they're a legacy
but
band.
They are.
You got Metallica. I want to hear your take on this.
So now the legacy bands rule the roost.
What are legacy bands?
Metallica,
Maiden,
Priest.
Black Sabbath, Priest, anybody. Even
Are we just talking metal?
it doesn't have to be metal. It's
So
anybody.
like you'd put the Stones in there then?
yeah, legacy
You could put
bands.
the
What
Stones
happens
in
after
there.
they die? Because there's going to be a
They're
grace
still
period.
around.
There's still going to be and they rule the roost, man. They rule the whole market. And I think there's going to be a grace period where
Okay.
that stuff needs to build back up again.
I may have a crazy
know?
take here.
What,
I mean, in pop, you have like
what was
Taylor
around
Swift,
before-
Beyonce,
What was around before Hank Williams?
Right.
And then, Elvis Presley.
Johnny Cash.
That was around the same era.
Same era.
Oh,
Son-
shit, you're right.
What was
So-
before that?
So I may have a crazy take here.
Well, the music industry didn't really exist before two acts.
Right.
One's a band, one's an artist. It was really the Beatles and Elvis Presley. Those were really the birth of the true music industry as we know it.
Yeah.
Because before that,
you had like Robert Johnson.
Yeah, and you had
blues,
exactly right, and they were recording records, but the radio industry wasn't really a thing yet. TV wasn't a
So
thing
really,
yet. Like,
before Elvis, it was in the radio. It was really mostly actual vinyls.
Yeah, you had the Grand Ole Opry.
No, but I'm saying as far as sitting down listening to music, you did not have the radio. You had a vinyl, or was the radio before a vinyl?
and not only that, but the vinyl was first. But vinyl was, like he said, it was recordings of people doing classical music. And then the first recordings on vinyl that weren't like the Grand Ole Opry or the San Francisco Orchestra or
We're
whatever
talking
it
about
was.
like the music business here.
Okay.
Like,
Right.
like
it was like
Not like Louis
underground.
Armstrong.
It
Okay.
was underground. Nobody's ever heard of them blues artists, where it's like literally one guitar and a woman singing on a shitty, scratchy recording where you can barely hear that guitar at all. And those started moving around the South, really. And
It
when
really
they
was
made
the
it up,
South.
yeah, and when
Yeah.
they made
Delta
it up,
blues.
they made it up into like New York. That's when it started inspiring like the jazz culture.
Louis
and-
Armstrong, all that.
Yeah, dude. Like, it's super interesting. It's a long, convoluted road as to how we
is.
got here. Is there any beers left in that fridge?
There
Or
is.
did we kill them?
So I have a hot take here, and
Because we got more in that fridge.
This may be out there.
You got a hot
exaggerating.
take, you said?
So I truly am not sure, right? And I'm not saying that another member or whatever. I think that the day that James Hetfield dies, metal dies. In a way.
I disagree. There's so much metal.
He
If-
is Papa Het.
No,
I
here.
mean,
I love Papa Het.
The day that he dies, who's going to play U.S. Bank Stadium? Like I said,
That's what I'm talking about, dude.
No, but
it's that
but
grace
what
period.
metal band is going to co-play
All
U.S.
these
Bank
legacy
Stadium?
bands are going to die, and I think it's just going to reboot. It's going to start
And I'm
all
not
over.
again. I'm not just saying James Hetfield, but the day that Maiden, Metallica, and honestly,
You could throw
That's-
Megadeth in there.
yeah, but they're headlining the Armory. They're not headlining US Bank.
I see
You
what
know,
you're saying.
Right.
I'm saying.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So now I see
Metallica
what you're saying
and
with
Maiden.
legacy bands still doing it.
I think it's
arena
Metallica
shows.
and Maiden.
Right.
And I really
And they
think
still
that
rule the industry.
I think that the day that Maiden and Metallica stop, there's a big pause in music,
Yeah.
and that's when the AI stuff's gonna come out. And again, hot take there. But do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I think that Metallica, Maiden, when they stop, there's gonna be a big whoa.
It's gonna be a metal dark ages.
It is.
Yeah.
It's an ice age.
Yeah.
It's an ice age of
You
metal.
got a
and
mic. You got a mic, Steve.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call you Steve when you fuck up. I'll call you Murph when you're doing well.
Well, I don't
There's
have
so much
three arms.
good metal out there.
We got to get you a
but it's
stand
just
back there,
not
step by step.
valued in the
Step by
industry,
step.
though. That's what I'm saying. You know, it's just not valued in the industry.
So
because
what you're
they can't
really
make a
talking
dollar.
about is like the Saddam Hussein of metal getting assassinated, right? It creates a power vacuum. It creates not a
It's-
power. This is a metaphor. It's a weird, bizarre metaphor, but it perfectly tracks. So bear with me, everybody, everybody,
yeah.
because the reality is when these bands go, there are no bands to naturally fill that
isn't.
vacuum.
There isn't.
And this is a macrocosm of what actually happened on the Minneapolis local scene. One of the reasons we do not have the music scene we had even 20 years ago, and 20 years ago was the Silver Age, so it was already kind of dying. So when I'm referring to the good old days, it wasn't even the peak, dude. It was already going down. But what I'm talking about is you had this weird thing that happened where all three of the premier booking agents in this town, there was Joe Spanbauer, Bill Berry, and Shannon Brettel. All three of them retired at the same exact time, like in one calendar year.
Why is that?
In that same, they were just of age and other circumstances, like what I'm about to say, step 2 was, in that same calendar year, almost all the legitimate headlining bands broke up. Okay?
Now, who was that?
So you had Banehinge breakup, Stasia breakup, Black Flood Diesel breakup, American Head Charge breakup, Ginger Jake breakup. You had like
And we're talking early 2000s?
Yeah, late 90s, early 2000s. So you're talking literally guys who would headline First Avenue in American Head Charge down to headline Star Central, which is like 800 people, right? About half. But they're still all legitimate, really good headlining bands that would sell these clubs out, okay? All of them broke up in the same calendar year. All of them were managed by these three managers. When that happened, these people were of age. They were burnt out. I think fucking Shannon got cancer, if I remember right. Fucking Bill Berry ripped a bunch of people off and fucking took off. And he's like still to this day wanted by the FBI, still never been caught.
Wow.
Joe Spanbauer just got old and said no bands are worth working
I've
with
heard of
anymore
that.
because you
I've
all
heard
don't
of
have
that
your
guy.
shit together. So Joe Spanbauer still runs sound at fucking.
That's
We call him we call it the main event, but what is it now? Route 47.
Yeah, Ralph.
that Joe.
That's Spanny. Yeah, that was my first manager in the music industry. Joe Spanbauer signed
I did not
me to
know
his-
that he was a manager.
Yeah, he was
Okay.
my manager when I was 17
ran our
years
sound-
old.
he
He
ran
signed
our
my
sound
band to
at-
his little management
wow.
and booking
Testament show
label.
in Minneapolis.
I
It
did
was
not know
awesome.
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah, he's the man, dude. So there was just like basically all the shit happened in one calendar year, and it created this vacuum. So what I'm getting at is bands like my band, Solace and Ashes, who could barely draw 200 people, but we were drawing 200 people to see us, which is a good draw now, right? It's actually kind of like an impressive draw. 200 people just to see your band. You're like, oh, wow, yeah, let's have them headline, right?
Right.
That's the fucking problem. That's my point. Is back then the standard was 500 people. You can't headline until 500 people are there just to see you. That was the number that Joe, Shannon, and Bill all put out there. And it was like they were kind of gatekeepers, right? They kind of like built standards. In opening band, your expectation is to draw 50 people to see just your band at 9 o'clock when nobody's there. That's your job, is to get 50 people there early. The second band, okay, and that way when the second band goes on, not only is the 100 people that they drew there, but plus your 50 people. So now that's called the warm-up band, right? So you have the opener, you have the warm-up band, which is the second band. Now there's about 150 people in that room. So by the time the third band goes on and all their fans show up, which should be about 200, right? Okay. Now we have fucking 350 people in that room. And when that third band is going on, The rest of the room is being filled by that headliner who's bringing in about 500. So now we have about 850 people in a room, okay? That mattered. And when all of those bands broke up, and then bands like my band got thrust into that vacuum to fill those headlining slots, and we were barely drawing 200 people in the fucking second and third slot, bro, it was not good for our scene. So then you got a lot of new people stepping in as quote-unquote booking agents and promoters, a lot of people who didn't know what the fuck they were doing. A lot of people were walking the walk and they weren't, they were talking the talk, but they weren't walking. People started ripping bands off, and just like, dude, our whole scene collapsed like boulder by boulder, brick by brick. It just kind of like caved in on, and it never came back. It's never been the same. And this is why I preach so much, and this is why I come off this way on this podcast, because I'm trying to explain to you guys, like, there's a reason Nashville is successful. There's a reason Austin is successful. There's a reason LA and New York are successful. And there's a reason we used to be successful, but we stopped listening. We stopped learning. We stopped gatekeeping. We started just doing whatever the fuck we wanted. So now you have the same 8 bands playing with the same 8 bands for the same 400 people. Nobody's crowds are growing. Nobody's getting bigger. Nobody's drawing national attention. Nobody's keeping venues in business. And the whole fucking scene. I mean, now that we got a producer, Murph can even back me up, instead of just random listeners in chat, this was a huge part of our conversation last week with Eric, who's in a death metal band, Reaping Asmodea. And it's not a Minneapolis problem. It's a problem everywhere that isn't one of those 4 cities I just mentioned.
Nashville, Austin, and where?
Nashville, Austin, New York, LA.
That's it.
I mean, Seattle had a run. I don't know how Seattle's doing nowadays, but they had that grunge movement. You know what I mean? So there's towns that pop up. You know, fucking Florida had the new metal thing that popped up with Limp Bizkit and some other bands from that area. But, like, yeah, we're talking like a consistent, legitimate, stable music industry. Bro, we don't have strong leaders and mentors here. And then we have, like, what you kind of alluded to earlier, which is a lot of kiss ass, a lot of backstabbing, a lot of, like, passive-aggressive bullshit here, like...
And I will jump in and say you do get that at other cities.
True.
You know, but it's such a larger scale that the backstabbing, the nice stuff, you know, it isn't going to be as effective as if it is here because it's such a smaller scale. And I think it is a big thing of look at where does, you know, and I'm not even just talking about metal. Where does Morgan Wallen live? He ain't going to live here. He's going to live in Nashville.
Right.
Where do all these guys have houses? Where do they all live? Nashville, Austin, Nashville, Austin. So how is Logan? How is he going to get a gig playing for Morgan Wallen here?
Right.
He ain't.
Right.
He has to go down there, and he's still going to have to put in probably 4 or 5. You know, unless he gets lucky, probably 4 or 5 years of really hard work before he gets that big shot.
The only way he would do it from here is if he blew up on the internet. You know, you become an Instagram guitar player. Then you could do it from here.
I do have a story about that. Do you know who Five Finger Death Punch's drummer is right now? And I will say,
he's from here.
He's from here.
He's
from St. Paul. Charlie Engen.
In fact, yeah, I think fucking Mike Sallow, who's been on the podcast, said he's gonna hit him up and try to get him on the podcast for me.
That would be.
I think he also owns like fucking either BC Rich or Dean Guitars.
I don't
the
know
same guy.
That.
No, I'm 100% certain it's the same guy.
He's only.
I don't know which company it is.
He's only like 30 years old.
Yeah, so, but he bought that motherfucker.
He probably did. My point is, we make fun of them, right? Right. But they are the #1 rock band in the world right now, other than Metallica.
I only make fun of their lyrics in certain songs because I'm sorry, monkey see, monkey do. You always do. I always do what you tell me to, or so, whatever the fuck that was. Dude, are they trying to be funny?
I think.
Are they trying to go Steel Panther?
No, they are not.
Because if they're going Steel Panther, then it's awesome.
They're not.
No,
they are genuinely trying to be
unironic.
serious. So now, okay, that's a lot better than Megadeth. So we have.
Is this on screen, Steve? Can the viewers see this?
So Jeremy Spencer was the drummer up, and you know Ivan Moody was in a band before this, Motorgrader.
Yeah.
And so then he started this, and it was him.
And weren't the original guitar players from Wasp?
That is correct, I believe. Okay, so Jeremy Spencer, 2018, he quit and I believe he became a porn star, if I'm not mistaken.
Amazing.
So then Charlie Engen took over, and
Porn is way more profitable than this fucking band.
well, it probably is.
that band's very profitable.
They're very profitable.
But I have a feeling Ivan Moody controls like 95% of that, and I feel like that's why he switched members, because I feel like they're hired employees, not band
So the
members.
only two consistent members we have are Zoltan and Ivan. Zoltan's the rhythm guitar player,
Zoltan.
and
Jesus
Ivan
Christ.
Moody is the lead singer. Charlie Engen in 2018, he was in his basement playing drum covers.
Zoltan.
That's all he was doing. He was just playing. He was just living in St. Paul, doing drum covers. Ivan Moody saw him on YouTube, called him, said, "Come try out." He joined.
That's so wild.
The dude went from doing drum covers, just chilling,
Yep.
to being in the biggest rock band in the world, right? And to your point, is there anyone else that's doing that in this state that is that big? The only YouTubers that I know that are, you got Matt Wheeler, if you know him. He's getting,
Yep.
So he's got like 160,000 followers on Instagram. He lives in Plymouth. Very good guitar player. Endorsed by Schecter.
Do you guys know him?
I do know him. I see
Dude,
him.
you should get him on the podcast before he
think
gets too big.
that guy is amazing.
He's probably already too big, but
He,
reach out.
he genuinely is amazing. I see him at my job once in a while.
Reach out. I want to get him on the podcast, dude.
That guy is a genius, and I will say that he's a genius. Very good guitar player. Very good. He's got like 160,000 followers on Instagram. He played.
That's a couple bucks a month.
I believe he played with White Lion for a bit.
No, he
Oh,
did. He just
really?
plays a lot of White Lion covers.
I'm pretty sure he played with White Lion for a bit.
No way.
I promise you.
Look it up.
Look it up. Pull it up, Murph.
Well, I don't know if I don't know. I don't think he was he was just
No,
a-
Murph will pull it up. Put your phone down. Murph will pull it up. How's that protein bar doing over there for you?
Great, man. It's the Robert Irvin or Irvine.
Well,
whatever.
look up Matt Wheeler.
Say it into the mic. Say it into the mic.
Look up Matt Wheeler.
Matt Wheeler, White Lion, and you'll probably get a bunch of covers. So then, see if he's got a Wikipedia and see if he was ever in the band. All right, now while he's looking that up, you keep making your point.
Well, my point is,
There's not a lot of guys in
You got
Minnesota
Matt
doing
Wheeler,
this.
and you have who's that guy? The Art of Guitar, and he's not even really
that guy.
He's not really a player as much as he is like a Rick Beato type, where he just sits there and
What is this?
I don't think that's
Oh,
him.
this is Wikipedia?
I don't think that's him, is it? No, that's not him. No.
No, it's a screenwriter, dude. It says it in the first sentence, Murph.
Okay.
You fuck.
Point aside.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ, dude. The first sentence says Matt Wheeler, a screenwriter from
definitely.
Britain.
He was
No,
not
he-
it. No.
No,
way.
that's a
he
book
did.
called The White Lion. Oh my God, get it off the screen.
I might.
Get it off the screen.
I might.
Jesus Christ.
We could call Logan quick and fact
No.
check it.
Vito Brada was the only guy, and then they stopped.
Dude,
Early '90s.
the confidence. I'm going with the confidence.
Okay, he played with some glam band. I know he did. I know he did. I'm trying to think
That
of
I can believe.
No, I'm trying to think of now who it would have been. Steelheart. Do you know Steelheart?
No.
I believe it was Steelheart.
Murph, pull it up. Steelheart.
Anyway, the guy's good. He's
I gotta piss.
He's gaining viral. That's like your fourth piss this podcast.
Dude, well, I tried to piss a few minutes ago and I didn't.
Couldn't squeeze it out.
No, I thought I had to piss.
Anyway, the guys.
Yeah,
the guys.
look at the lineup. Let's see if Matt Wheeler was ever in this band. Otherwise, at this point in time, not only was there not 17, but basically
Well, now
we're
a
just,
touring
we're
member
just
wouldn't come
learning
up here.
that Jeremy
Hold
just
on.
makes shit up.
A touring member would not come up here,
That is true.
so you can't.
Unless they're listed.
That is true.
Okay. Anyway, the guy's got hundreds of thousands of subscribers on YouTube. He's the only guy that I know in the Twin Cities area that has that many and is a musician and is getting big gigs.
And he's doing well.
Other than that, I don't know anyone else doing that. Art of Guitar is an instructional. You know him,
Dude, it's so
Art
funny.
of Guitar?
So I don't, but it's funny you bring him up because
I gotta pee.
I should have played you guys this shit before we started, but I didn't think of it. I'll play it before we get out of here. What time is it, by the way?
I don't even know.
8:05. Oh, we got plenty of time, dude. I'm gonna piss when Jeremy gets back. In fact,
up.
maybe Steve, that's what we need to do. We'll use one of the Montoya Machine songs
Montoya Machine?
Yeah. So go to my Google Drive. Just go to googledrive.com. It should just pull up. You should already be logged into it. And we'll play one of these for the next break.
Heck yeah.
Make sure they can't see this. Yeah, good. Yeah.
No.
It's fine if it's on this screen, but
It's
I don't
on
want
this
it. I don't
service.
want it on the main screen.
No.
Okay. Go to the my drive and then go down to keep going.
Jared and
No.
F. F, what does that stand for?
No. Go down.
Jared and the fuckheads.
TMM.
TMM.
Yep, the Montoya Machine. Yep.
Come on.
Double click it.
Montoya.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, and then download number 2.
This one?
Yeah.
You want to download it, huh?
Yeah, download it.
Yep.
And then load that in to OBS as a source, as a media file.
Oh, shit. Okay. I could just play it from here.
I know you can, but I want it on there.
You want it on there?
Yeah, because we're going to use this in future podcasts. So that way I can hit a button
Oh,
and
it's
go
just
piss.
an MP3.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and just load it as a media file in OBS. And then when
Sure.
you do it, also make sure that source is on for monitoring and output.
Yep.
Because I think that's one of the things that's happening is we're not getting that output. But anyways, yeah. What the fuck was that?
We were talking about big cities, and my whole point was there's nobody else doing that I know of in Minneapolis. That's a big YouTuber other than him. And the fact that you have to move to one of those cities, it's kind of just how it is.
Yeah, I blame Prince, to be honest, because that's the guy that was supposed to build that and sustain that, right? But he didn't. He was fucking super weird, and he was not really a part of the local scene.
So now, how did he die?
Drugs, painkillers specifically. Fentanyl in his painkillers is what it actually was.
Okay.
But no, if Prince would have continued to do what he did back in the day, like keep First Avenue, continue to keep grooming.
Do you
young
think it?
bands
Do you
and,
think it was in part that he died? That it died?
No, because he quit being a part of it before he died. Years ago, he became an isolationist and became very introverted and no, man, it was the mid '80s when he fucking owned First Avenue and helped out people like Morris Day and the Time and wrote songs for other young up and coming artists and helped them. And yeah, he quit. If he would have kept doing it, we would still have the music industry we used to have. And then my guys in American Head Charge, I know a few of those guys, and I was close with a couple of those guys, and they kind of fucked us too because they were drug addicts, and so they were big time takers, meaning they got a lot out of the scene and gave almost nothing back. And then none of the bands under them ever made it to the level where they could or even wanted to give back and come back and build anything. And so, like I said, when guys make it from here, they leave. And a lot of people try to blame the weather. A lot of people just straight up say, good weather helps those scenes. And I'm like, have you been to New York?
Right.
Okay, but New York is New York. I mean,
that is true.
Nashville, Austin, and L.A., 75, 80 all year. How can you beat that?
Yeah, that's true.
So,
no, that's just straight up true. Yeah, New York's New York. I mean, it is what it is.
I do want us to come back. I know you were going to ponder it for you're not sure how long, but I want to come back to my theory from earlier.
About what? James dying?
No.
That's what we were talking about, is the vacuum.
Right.
Well, that, but also...
And I think you're right, because I think that's going to happen on a large scale as to what that whole spiel I went on. That was a micro version of what I think you're right. I think that's going to happen because there are no bands
I was going to say
to fill the Stones' shoes, to fill Metallica's shoes, to fill Iron Maiden's shoes.
Not yet.
Right, not yet.
But there is. The record companies need to choose it. And also, I think
Who are you talking about?
What do you?
Five Finger Death Punch
About bands?
Fucking
There's
who are you talking about?
Avenged Sevenfold. Who could possibly be that successful?
There are so many bands.
Who?
Oh my God! All right, for metal, there's Crypt Sermon. Or there's country dudes like
Okay.
Cole Diamond.
All right,
really
I
cool.
definitely got to piss now.
Okay.
You got that song queued up?
It's on your.
I
your,
also
stream
think
deck.
too.
Is that opera?
Yeah. No, it says
Yeah,
we
I'll
saved
get
a
back to
place for
that.
you in green, right in the middle.
Yeah, it says opera.
No,
What are you talking about,
you
dude?
should see it.
I have one green button that says opera.
You don't see this right here?
No, I don't see that.
Oh crap! Okay.
That's your Steam Deck. It
That's
says
mine.
it right
Okay.
there. It
Well,
says Murph Stream. Just play it, dude, and mute
I'll
our
just
mics.
Play it. All right.
Play it, mute our mics. Hopefully it's loud.
Well, I'm gonna turn it up. to
Mute our
11.
mics.
All right, hold on. There we go. Muting mics. Go.
Life comes first, or so we're told to believe. That death will always have the last word. But in some cases, in these darkened spaces, we're put in our places to be. I think I'm gonna stay. I think I'm gonna stay right here. I think I'm gonna stay. I think I'm gonna stay right here. Skin grows first and then we can proceed. But it won't be painless, don't you know, babe? I've been here with you, I've waited for long to see you be put where you belong. Don't you think you wanna stay? I think you wanna stay right here. I think you wanna stay. I think you wanna stay right here. God will share His mercy, taste it all. Swell your cross with honey's fill. You know I will. Come over here and take your place. You never think it goes like this. Get over here and take your place. You never think life would go this way. Hey. You never think it'll go like this, but then life comes along and shows you where your place is. You never think it'll go like this, but then it does. But then it does. You never think it'll go like this, but then life comes along and shows you where your place is. You never think it'll go like this, but then it does. But then it does, yeah. I think I'm gonna stay. I think I'm gonna stay right here. I think I'm gonna stay. I think I'm gonna stay right here. God will share His mercy, taste it all. Swell your corpse with honey's fill. You know I will.
I can do it if you can't do it. I got it. You got it? Are we back? Or we're back? Okay. We're good?
You're back. You're live.
So apparently, what did he do? Did he text you?
He's been throwing all kinds of stuff in the chat, I believe.
Has he?
I think he's been watching.
Dude,
the
I
whole
don't
thing.
think Brad's been in chat since we've been back.
I think we need to get Brad on this podcast.
Yeah.
Someday,
Call him up.
someday,
We need to get-
someday that'll probably happen.
That would be hilarious.
So he was here on one of the podcasts, but he was off camera, chilling in back.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I will say, amazing guy.
Yeah, dude, I love that guy.
Very, very supportive of everything we ever did. Okay, so we're
Kind of hard to see.
look
but
at these boys. Better slow down, lightweight. Probably talking to me, talking about what we're talking about. Yes, I can hear you talking. Van Halen blows. That's not true.
Van Halen does not blow, and Brad, you're about to be banned from chat if you ever speak such blasphemy. So do you guys have alter egos, by the way?
He's the
do you have
fact
like
checker.
do you guys have like he used to basically be our Jamie with there's like 5 super legitimate like regular listeners.
Okay.
And basically we turned our fans and we called them Jamies because we didn't have a producer yet. We didn't have Murph yet. So we would say, Jamies, pull that up, right? And basically whoever was watching and listening at the time, there's like 5 solid people. And they would do our fact checking for us and send us links and shit like that. And it was awesome. It was really great. My problem is that it was really hard for me to produce the podcast, monitor chat, and have good conversations with you boys. Like, it was really difficult to do all 3 of those things at the same time. So I wanted to bring in a producer. I'm glad we did it. We were working out the production kinks because we don't have things preloaded like we used to because we're rebuilding everything. But shout out to Brad and Steel Corner because at the end of the day, he was one of the OG Patreon subscribers when we had the Patreon going. And I think he was doing like $5 a month with there was like 3 or 4 other people, which is, it's not much. It's only like $20 a month, dude. But that stacked up after a while to be like hundreds of dollars, which is why we were able to buy the new computer to relaunch the podcast. Because that's ultimately what happened is, I had to press pause because of the job thing I told you boys about.
Yep.
But what really happened was this computer became like dead ass slow. Like, it just wasn't able to handle the workload anymore. And so, gotta do what you gotta do, But we're back up and running now. So,
What an amazing fucking band Pantera is.
Yeah, I know.
Probably.
So shout out to Brad.
Tell me more about Pantera.
Okay, Jared, I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Oh, that broke. Steve, will you grab me a beer, please? Now my dogs are barking. Jesus Christ. What a mess. I also need another cigar. All right. While he talks about Pantera, will you grab me a cigar out of that humidor, please?
Yeah, are they all the same? Do you want to?
Yeah. They're all the same right now. Just whatever's on the top shelf. Dude, you're doing a great job of managing that. For real. After completely fucking that thing, you've done an impressive job of not fucking it up worse. Do you know how many people I know and smoke cigars with, dude, that just completely disrespect these things?
No, man.
Talk to me about Pantera. What are we talking about? Why are we talking about Pantera?
I was gonna say
Vinnie Paul.
I
He told me he wants to talk about
no.
Pantera
I
in
was
the
just
car.
gonna say I genuinely think they took what Metallica, what all the. I mean, I don't know. I just think that with the exception of Metallica, maybe I think they're the greatest metal band of all time.
Pantera.
Yes.
I can respect that. I think we had this conversation last time.
Maybe. But I
can respect that take. I can respect that take. I can also respect when people bring up Megadeth. I can also respect that take, dude, because honestly, man, Megadeth
had to be able to sing.
Megadeth had a similar run of 3 straight banger ass albums that kind of culminated with Countdown to Extinction, right? It's Countdown to Extinction is the name of the album, right?
I like
That's one of
Megadeth,
those, yeah.
man. I like Megadeth, but
actually their next album was pretty legit too. Was it Euthanasia?
that was all right.
I think
I
Kiko
can't-
Loureiro,
I
their
can't take them as
previous guitarist.
I get it. I get
Dystopia
it.
is one of the
And I'm not
best
arguing
ever.
with you. I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm saying what I'm really saying is I'll accept any of these arguments.
okay. What are
I have
those?
a hard time accepting arguments when people say the greatest metal band of all time is Slayer.
No.
That's
I've
where
never
I
heard
start.
anyone say that.
That's where I start drawing the line. Where I'm like, okay, I don't know about that, dude, because Slayer is cool, but I don't know, dude.
They drew a line. They went into heavier, realms when no one else was kind of doing that.
It was also more
it was
gimmicky.
another more pioneer, more pioneering.
Well, I would call it gimmicky, and what I mean by that is not to be insulting. What I'm saying is they became the Kiss of metal.
How so?
Like the
How
whole
is that?
pentagrams, the devil worshipping, like they became an act.
But they can back it up.
Their whole thing was way more than their music, though. Like
But-
Megadeth, Metallica, even Guns N' Roses.
Okay,
like,
yeah, sure,
like
sure.
it was about the music and their performance.
Yep.
Whereas like bands like Kiss, Alice Cooper, Slayer,
Crew.
Marilyn Manson. It was an act. It was like there was a performance happening. It wasn't just them performing. It was a performance. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Do you guys
And
understand
I
what I'm
know
saying?
what you're saying. I think with Slayer,
If you
it
don't
goes
understand
hand
what
in
I'm saying,
hand.
then I'm just doing a
I
shit
do
job.
understand what you're
I'm
saying.
just
No.
doing a shit job of explaining this, I think. Because it's a gimmick. It's an act. Like half those guys, like literally half those guys are Catholic. Like it's an actual act. Like they're not actually Satan worshipers.
Well,
But they
yeah.
got the pentagram on the stage. Like it's
I really don't think that a lot of
You know?
I don't think that any metal band other than really like the Mayhem and Behemoths are Satanists. I don't think there's
No, it's,
anyone.
it's
but-
just like watching a horror movie. You know, it's
exactly, and that's what I
that's
tell
all it
people
is.
too. They're like, "How can you listen to that heavy screamo music?" It's like, have you ever watched The Conjuring? Well, yeah. Well, what's the difference if I go watch The Conjuring or if I sit down and blast a heavy metal album? Oh,
That's a great point. I never thought about it like that.
You know
dude.
what I mean?
I am 40 fucking years old. Well, almost 40, and I've never thought about it like that. That's the exact same thing.
And that's what
Listening to heavy metal and death metal, and watching The Conjuring or The Exorcist.
it's
It's
a
the
form,
exact same
It's
thing.
a form of art.
exactly.
I am not sitting there listening
Wow.
to metal music.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
dude. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I never have thought, not in my entire ass life, dude. And I've had a
It's-
lot of
and-
fucking conversations with a lot of
Yeah.
people. I've never, that's your original take.
That's
for the
my
night,
original
dude.
take right there. You saw it.
Clip it and rip it,
Clip it.
baby. Clip it and rip it.
What is the difference if I sit down and listen to a Metallica album, or if I watch The Conjuring? What if you're going to sit down and watch The Conjuring? Why aren't you a Satanist? Right.
Well,
That's
Metallica
what
doesn't really have any.
No, I'm not talking about
satanic
Metallica.
lyrics. But I know what you
If
mean.
I sit down and listen to,
Well, let's make this a little bit more mild and a little bit more digestible for regular folk, right? Because not everybody listens. Some people are like, I'm not even into this music. What are they? Okay, if you're a fan of Dexter, and you started rooting for Dexter, the actual serial killer, the actual psychopath,
Correct.
who for the first 3 to 4 seasons doesn't have emotions or empathy. Like, that's what we're talking about. That doesn't make you a serial killer. That doesn't make you actually cheer for real serial killers. It's art. It's getting you to understand and think a different way for a short period of time. Game of Thrones is probably the best at that. Everybody's a good guy when the story is told from their perspective. That's George R. That's what makes the books. Have you read the books? Have you?
I have not.
Dude, I listen to the audiobooks. I have like 4 or 5 of them out of the 6 or 7 or whatever it is. I'm 1 or 2 short of the whole collection. And dude, when you listen to these fucking books, dude, or read the books, like they tell the same story from like 3 different people's perspectives.
what are you
That's
talking
cool.
about here?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, I see.
And dude, everybody's the good guy from their perspective.
Correct.
And that's like real life.
That is.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what we're talking
It is,
about
and
here when it comes to the metaphor of the watching the
And
horror
all we're
movie.
doing
Like,
is listening to music. So really,
that's super interesting. I never thought of that.
so
dude.
and that's what I tell people when, how can you listen to metal music? It's all satanic. I'm like, have you ever sat down and watched like It? Well, yeah, it's about a clown that goes around and does all this weird shit, and it's creepy and it's horrible and violent, and it's so you're a bad person for watching that movie. Well, no. I'm like, well, what's the difference? It's a form of art and entertainment. Oh, well, I guess I never looked at it that way. I never have a rebuttal on that statement.
Well,
That
and
always closes the case.
it's specifically though sympathizing. The better analogy, that movie, it that's a stretch. That analogy is a stretch. The better example
Conjuring.
is like the Dexter, where you're actually like cheering for Dexter, and you're literally cheering for
Like
a
the
psychopathic
anti-hero.
murder.
Yeah, I'll start to use
Yeah.
that. I'll start to use that. The Dexter, that's perfect.
If they watch
if they
Dexter,
watch
that's
Dexter.
even still a little old,
But
right?
I'm saying,
I mean,
like,
I'm even still
people-
kind of showing my
people
age,
aren't-
but like,
People aren't usually. I gotta lift myself up.
tell me, be honest. That's a brand new chair?
This one's fine. I just was.
Is
sunk
that
down.
one fucked?
No, I'm just was sunk down.
That's a brand new chair. How's that chair treating you? It's not high end.
let's just say fat guy on a small chair.
All right.
It's okay though.
So,
I'm
wait,
gonna have to spend like
$900
$800 on this
what
fucking
was that?
chair.
What was that?
Steve is impossible to please.
Possible to-
Oh, I was saying
I'm
it's
just
not
kidding,
even.
Steve. I'm just kidding, Steve. I love you, buddy.
It's not even so much about the what it's more people just lean to the Satan stuff.
Mhm.
That's really what they lean to. You know, I would be jamming, and I like some of the heavier stuff, Shadow of Intent, you know, some of that stuff, and I'd be jamming that, and my roommates would be like, God, like, are you like worshiping Satan in there? I'm like,
Yes.
well, no, but I'm like, you know, well, what's the difference if you sit down and watch the Dahmer series? Are you, what's the word I'm looking for? When you, not foreshadowing, but
Are you trying to be a serial killer?
well, no, I
Empathize?
no, foreshadowing is the word I was looking for. Are you foreshadowing yourself into being a serial killer by watching the Dahmer series? No.
Oh.
And
I see
am
what
I
you're saying.
am I satanic for listening to music that's about Satan? No. It's literally just music. Literally.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
that's interesting. I never thought about it that way. That's a super interesting take, dude.
my original take.
I wonder how different it is when you start performing that, though. When you start putting that shit out. Because let's just say it's all real.
Let's
Let's
just
say
say
it's all fucking real.
hypothetically.
Let's say it's all real.
Okay.
Let's say it's all 100% real. Okay. Listening and consuming the art is one thing. But what if you're the one putting it out there?
Well, let's ask him.
Yeah.
About me?
Satan boy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I definitely know a few bands who are legitimately, you know, satanic and shit like that. And, you know, I just think I don't know, I think they're just taking it way too seriously. They create great art from it,
Sure.
but
Yeah.
are they kind of pieces of shit or whatever, or just kind of dumb in my opinion? Yeah, kind of. But, you know, if they make a great song, man, and it speaks to me in a different way, that's all that should really matter.
Well, and
know?
it's
But and that's the
interesting
thing
too
is,
because, like, as a Christian, like, I'm not offended by Satanists because, like, I consider myself to be a true Christian, which is about like being actually inclusive, being actually forgiving, actually accepting everybody of every type, and just treating people with genuine human fucking dignity.
Right.
You know what I mean? But most Christians don't act like that. Most Christians do not behave like that, and that's why I say when people try to point out, oh, well, here's your problem with Christianity, I'm like, that's not a Christian. That's a dude who calls himself a Christian. That's a grifter. That's a literal grifter who he's the real version of Satanism because he's guising himself. You know what I mean? Like, he's literally, did I say guising?
I don't really know.
He's
what guys
disguising himself in fucking sheep's clothing. Like, that's the old metaphor. You know what I mean? Like, that's an actual predator pretending to be your fucking, your not Messiah, but like your fucking, your not savior. What? Oh, pull that off. Pull that front one off. Yeah, you don't want to start smoking chemicals, homeboy. But do you know what I mean? So, like, because I know a bunch of Satanists. Being friends with death metal guys, like, I've known a bunch of them, dude. And, like, yeah, I have a bunch of problems with Satanism.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? Like, I can have you guys on the podcasts.
Yeah, none of my
Like,
lyrics
I can hang out with you guys. I can, like, literally have you in my home. Like, and I'll go to your house and we'll hang out. Because if you're going to actually be a Christian, like, you got to be cool with everybody. That's the whole fucking point, is be Switzerland. You know what I mean? Like, that's, if you're a real Christian, be cool with everybody. That's the real brass tacks. That's the real shit. And I'm definitely not great at it because I'll draw a fucking line. Real quick and
Hey,
be
you
like,
got
you come
boundaries,
over here,
man.
I'll fuck you up.
Most
Like,
sincere.
it's not the best vibe. It's not the best. Oh, that's dude from
Guilfoyle,
that's dude
the
from
Satanist.
fucking that's Guilfoyle from Silicon Valley. You guys ever watch that show? Yeah, he's actually
Great fucking show.
it's a great show.
He's the
HBO,
first
check it
Satanist
out.
I ever met.
Silicon Valley, whatever you want to call it. It's Silicon Valley.
I was gonna say something.
But I want to go back to this question I had earlier, which is, do you guys find inspiration in your style of music that you are writing do you find inspiration in things like chord progressions, melodies, timing, grooves? Do you find inspiration of those versions in other genres of music and then bring them back to the genre of music that you write?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And can you give me an example? Maybe not literal, like, because we don't all know your songs because we're not all writing
No,
hits.
for sure.
Classical music,
But
man.
just give me like a
Yeah.
general rundown.
Well,
Whether it's classical or
yeah.
whether it's blues or pop.
So
I pull a lot of shit from pop nowadays. Actually, it's ironic.
So
and then
I
I make it like badass.
It's cool. They Pop has
Dude,
great
they
chord
write hooks,
progressions,
dude.
man.
They write hooks, dude.
hooks. I think for me, it's really, obviously I didn't do majority of the songwriting in Stormbreaker. The songwriting on Strike the Match, that album with Chris, I really did nothing but the bass. But the Blue album that we put out, the 3 songs, me and Logan, Chris took part in 2. All 3 of us really did a lot of the guitar playing. We really, really, really were strongly influenced.
Was that after Billy left?
Yes. So it was just me, Chris.
Dude,
and
I miss
Logan.
Billy, dude.
I miss Billy.
I have to be
miss Billy
public
too.
about this.
No.
I have to be public about this because I've said this in private, and this is my deal, right? Like, I don't say shit
Oh yeah.
behind people's backs.
Absolutely.
If I'm saying it, I've already said it to your face.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I still to this day think Billy needs to become another member of Stormbreaker. Like, he has to come back. Like it doesn't feel like Stormbreaker without him. It's not like when Dave Mustaine left Metallica. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they replaced him with Kirk and they just kept running. And in many ways it was actually better.
Mhm.
In many ways it was better. Like, a lesser guitar player was actually better for that band, which is a whole different podcast. We could do a whole podcast on just that philosophy.
That's true.
We could.
But like, I just want to be honest and open about
That's
this
fine.
because I've said this to everybody, and I don't want to pretend like I'm a different guy when we're on the podcast. I'm not. My whole shtick is authenticity. Stormbreaker's not the same without Billy, and Billy's got to come back. We need to figure out a way to make Billy come back. And I have tried so many times to invite him over to my house to have this conversation with him because I think a lot of the reason he's not back is it's on him. So I love you, Billy, and the band's not the same without you, bud. But you got to come back. And I hope that someday you guys can all make it work
That'd be fun, man. We would
because it's got to
have
happen. It's
we-
got to happen.
We would. At this point, it's really just. Logan's in Nashville.
I think I caught you. I think I caught you guys for the first time for me. It was like your 3rd show or something like that, or your first handful of shows. And it was so interesting to see your progression in that band too. Like, literally from your changing of your hairstyle
I changed my hair a lot.
to you
Yeah.
like becoming like a man,
Yeah.
and your confidence and your experience in watching that growth over a handful of shows, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, we're only talking a
No,
few
for
shows,
sure.
dude. It was
Yeah.
super impressive because
I appreciate
by the
that.
time you guys did that show that we were talking about before the podcast started, your last hurrah at Route 47 before you went to college
Yeah.
was, dude, it was fucking badass, dude. And I remember sitting outside with Logan and I was like, let's have a meeting and talk because like this should not end. You guys had finally really become you guys. And we'll talk a little bit more off air because there's some other stuff that shouldn't be public, but you guys and you were a huge part of that, dude. You were a huge part of that, and it was really fucking cool to watch your growth in that.
I appreciate that.
Because you evolved in a very interesting way, specifically as a performer. Because I didn't get to see all the behind the scenes shit
Right.
as your input as a songwriter and as a
Right.
band member, or a potential leader, or a second in command, or a morale guy,
Yeah.
or I don't know. I don't know that inner working, because everybody's got a role to play.
Right.
And I want to get your opinion on this in your band because I know Aaron from other stuff,
Sure.
and I want to hear what you have to say about this too. because it's not always about technical skills and who writes the songs. Sometimes it's about like who leads the rehearsals, who makes sure that the band is always having fun. Like if you really want to have a healthy band, I have this mantra where I say you can't create fire, which is great music, great art, without a little friction. And that's scientifically true. Like you literally cannot create fire without friction. Like it's not possible. Including compression, for any physicists that want to get cocky, there's still friction happening in compression. So go fuck yourself. So I'll die on this hill. I will fucking die on this hill. Trust me. I know my physics. There's still friction in compression. So go fuck yourself. It's in the pistons. It's in everything, and including in between the atoms. So seriously, go fuck yourself. But the metaphor is great music. Okay, so you find me a band that doesn't argue, doesn't fight. I'll find you a band that makes bland music, dude.
Seriously.
No, I agree.
Okay, so this also comes down to like some sports shit, since we're all kind of sports guys, right? You seem to be a hockey fan, right?
Absolutely.
We didn't get into it too much, but just like on a couple questions, I was like, okay, he likes hockey. You play baseball. I'm a huge football guy. Played football, coached for,
I'm big on football, too.
coached for, I had a cup of coffee as a coach.
Nice.
And I was really fucking good. I actually won state championship for Coon Rapids Little League as a starting pitcher. Like it was amazing. It was fucking awesome, dude. I was in like 7th grade. It was one of those moments, dude. It was one of those moments. So here's the point. On a team, you need a set of personalities. You need super humble guys who just keep their fucking mouth shut and do their fucking job.
Logan
right?
Stoliker.
You need even though he might be the leader, like a Joe Mauer,
He
right?
is, and
Secretly, Joe Mauer was the leader of the Twins,
And he
even though
is.
he was like what you just
Right.
described, right? Kept his mouth shut,
But Logan,
humble, just
the
does his
most-
job.
Probably the most humble guy I've ever been in my life. Logan.
But then you also definitely need a Michael Irvin, a loud, boisterous, fucking let's fucking party. We're throwing down. We're fucking badass motherfuckers. He's the hype man, right? Then you need guys like an Emmett Smith, right? I'm using the Cowboys as an
Hell yeah,
example
dude.
because this is where I learned it from as a little kid. They had this great team. They had this balance, but the final piece was they needed that guy who was going to fucking come in and punch everyone in the dick, and that was Michael Irvin, right? And so you can use this metaphor for the guy who writes the songs, the guy who leads the rehearsals, right? Because that's a job. Like, how do you keep the rehearsals intact? Who does that? So you guys have some of those personalities, and I feel like you started to all fall into your roles naturally, organically, and it was similar to Revenant Soul, which is why I still have like legitimate animosity to the entire band for allowing that to break up, because like the fucking drummer quit, I get it, okay, I understand that. The guitar player quit, I get that, okay, and I understand that Joe, the singer and the bass player, have an easy out to say, well, they quit. Because I did that. I did that once in my band. I was like, well, they're the ones that quit. And then it was years later where I realized, yeah, but what were we doing? What environment did we create that made them quit? What were we doing wrong where they felt something else was more worth their time?
Makes sense.
That's what I'm getting at, right? So, like, currently, in a positive aspect, I just kind of described what I saw you guys kind of come into right as you were breaking up. Revenant Soul, same thing. Now, you guys are still a deal. Aaron's in 175 bands.
Yeah.
Your drummer, Aaron Lonick, been on the podcast. Shout out to Aaron.
Doesn't sleep.
So my question is, what is working when it comes to those dynamics? Do you guys, obviously you write the majority of the songs, right? And you're the lead singer and guitar player. Okay.
Yes.
So when it comes to these guys obviously writing their own parts, which we already talked about, how does it come to other guys having the right personalities and responsibilities or lack of responsibilities to where they feel comfortable in your band and like explain that. So and then explain it in a way that if it's a younger band up and coming and they're kind of struggling with this and trying to figure it out, what's a way that they can kind of relate to it? Not necessarily giving advice, just
Sure. Well,
how does it work or not work?
In my opinion, I think there needs to be an idea and a structure that you first, are can't even think about the words right now, but there's got to be a structure that you have an idea of and that you want to go forward with the vibe. And you want to try find people that are in the same boat with you, but not one person. There's no, again, like really cliche, but there's no I in team. You do need everybody, like what you're saying with like the different personalities and whatever, but you need to have a driving, I think, force with, a leader to kind of create, what the topic's going to be or like whatever for the meeting.
Yep.
And then you also need that team to help you, who's like in the same boat with that same genre or idea, whatever, to like, discuss and see how we can move forward, but we're all on the same page with the end goal.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think that's why we did, and it was sad that we stopped in with Billy, was that me, Chris, Logan, and Billy were a good combo because, Chris had a very good business sense of things. He got our gigs.
I think he learned a lot of that from the cover band scene.
And he had a very good business. Oh, we're opening for Warrant. Like, what? How did you even get that? Well,
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Billy had a very good vision of like, okay, this is Stormbreaker. This is our sound. We shouldn't stray away from. I would come in with a riff that was like drop C, Breaking Benjamin, and I'd be like, let's do this, man. And Billy's like, no, like let's do our sound. And that was kind
That's
of
such an important guy to have in the band.
And he's and I will give him credit there. He was like, you know what? No, we are freaking glam.
But you
got to
give yourself a little credit there too, because you just the way you described this,
Rock the boat a little bit.
Yeah, but the way I would describe it is this: is that you got to give yourself credit in that same thing, because not only is he keeping you on track, right, keeping you focused on a specific vision, but you didn't get your ego butthurt by that.
No,
because I talk about this a lot too. Is that ego means nothing more than sense of self. Okay, so guys talk about a huge problem is he has a huge ego, right? Well, guess what a bigger problem is? Having too small of an ego. Because if you have too small of an ego, you're too insecure about your sense of self, right? You're too insecure about who you are. So any criticism that comes your way, you actually take it as a personal slight on you.
That's something you
You
have
see what
to
I'm saying?
kind of develop over time.
You follow me?
Yeah, I do. And you have to grow that confidence within yourself, where you're always going to get criticism. You're always going to get people who like, oh, it could be better, it could be this, it could be that. But it kind of comes down, are you really happy with it? And how are you going to present it?
Right.
That's why I say
in
things
the
like,
end-
it's a no for me, dog. Like that song's not working.
Exactly.
Like I just keep it simple. I'm not trying to tell you how to write songs, because that's so fucking annoying.
Right.
Oh, you should skip this. Shut up. Like, dude, like that's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is like, is this dope? If it's not dope, tell me it's not dope. And honestly, the best is when somebody's like, I think it might be good, but it's not really my vibe, so I don't know any better. That's when you're like, okay, now I might actually have something. But it's just not his style. But if it sucked, he would tell me.
Right. No,
But
that's
it's like,
important.
it's so like interesting that he can't even criticize it. But he's trustworthy enough to shit on it, but he didn't.
You can't have a yes man the whole time, man. 'Cause
Dude, those suck.
That doesn't get anywhere. It
Those
just kind of flat lines out. And also the others around you, say if like there's like a quote unquote ringleader, then they kind of start, not wanting to be a part of the group.
Do you think you can have one yes man in a 5-person band? Because I think you can.
Well,
I know
you
5-person band, yeah.
Well, you
person.
definitely need somebody that is. You need at least one person that's going to go with the flow. Is that what you're kind of saying?
So in a 5-person band,
Not everybody can
not
fucking try to
everybody.
die on every fucking hill.
But-
Not everybody is a senator in the band. Like you need one or two guys.
But
that
what
really,
I think is, in a 5-person
I
band,
mean, I that's just my dumb
in a
ass
5-person
opinion.
band,
I don't know that that's true.
You have a leader, right? You have a guy, okay, that boom, boom, boom. That was your your Chris and your Billy type. Mainly Chris and Billy, I will say, in that era. And then you have the guy who's amazing but humble and just shows up and does his shit and practices the most and does everything and is the best. And Logan Stoliker.
Sure.
And then you have a couple that are just, like good and show up and do their thing, bring ideas, but if they're not cool, then what? And that was me and Lobrick. And I think that's why we were so good. as a 5.
That makes sense.
And I really wish that we would have been able to keep going, but obviously there was a lot of stuff that happened.
Well, and that's what it always seems to be, is that there's always a lot of stuff happening. And that's what I keep trying to stress is
really hard.
Like, I get it.
To have 5 guys it's hard.
It's literally, this is not a metaphor. This is a direct analogy. It is literally like being married to 4 other guys.
Herding cats.
It's being married to 4 other dudes.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
And all of you are alpha males. All of you are great artists. All of you are elite. All of you are intelligent. All of you are fucking everything you think you are. It's true. This is why it has to come down to, I don't think having a leader, I think it has to do with role players knowing their role.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, you have 1 or 2 guys that write the majority of the songs. So let's go back to Metallica. We all seem to like Metallica, right? So you have James and Lars are the main songwriters.
100%.
But when they were at their peak, when Kirk wrote a solo, Kirk wrote the solo. Lars didn't get to come in and get his fucking 2 cents in there.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, they had defined roles, and that mattered because there was some autonomy there. There was some respect.
There was respect.
I trust you to be in this band and write the best solo that you can do. And if I come in and say, hey, man, nah, that ain't your best work, here's the catch. You respect me enough to tell you that and listen.
Yeah.
But guess what?
Yep.
Guess what? Here's the second catch, is that I respect you enough to tell me to fuck right off.
Wow.
So if you decide, no, dude, you don't know what you're talking about, this solo is the absolute motherfucker. Guess what?
It's a
I'm telling you
respect.
from experience, I've come back months later and been like, bro, you were right. That fucking solo is the shit. And I was wrong. And I'm so glad you stuck to your guns and didn't let me get into your head. But then, here's the irony. This happened with a verse one time where I was arguing with my singer, John. And I said, John, we need to add a 3rd verse to this song. And he goes, no, we don't. It's perfect. And then, like, literally 6 months later, I was like, God, you're right. I'm glad we didn't, because the song's perfect the way he is.
It's a mutual respect.
And he goes like this. Yeah. He goes, I've actually started to come around to your line of thinking. I think we need to add a 3rd verse. And I was like, you son of a bitch! I thought we had settled this, and now we're starting it over from the opposite ends of the spectrum. We never changed anything, but I thought it to be very, very funny because, like, we had enough respect for each other to leave it where it was,
For sure.
but continue to think about it from the other guy's perspective. So months later, we actually switched fucking positions.
Oh, man.
Still never switched it because it was just like, it's done. We're moving on. Like, we'll just keep that in mind for later. You
Yep.
know, that again, respect, because it was about roles. And really what it boiled down to was John and I really wrote the songs. And then our bass player, Kevin, would come in and be like, you guys are being dumb. Like, here's this better idea. And here's how we're going to get from this idea to this idea. And it just became this, like, brilliant, but we fought like fucking crazy. But goddamn, those songs were fire. Everything we wrote was dope. There was no filler. Everything we did was killer. But we couldn't keep that band together because our egos got in the way. And not just mine. It wasn't mine. Like, it was everybody, including me. So I think a lot of bands, if they can just figure out how to get through that and stay together as a band and keep doing what you're doing, accept your roles, man. Not everybody can be the actual roles of the band. Not everybody can be James Hetfield.
No.
Exactly.
Like, somebody's got to be the Kirk Hammett. Somebody's got to be the Jason Newsted. Somebody's got to be the Tommy Lee. Like, come on, man. Like, it's a team effort. And that's why I think the sports analogy really tracks
sure.
for
It
that
does,
too.
man.
It does, man.
It really does.
It tracks.
There's a reason there's a captain of the team sometimes, and I don't know, man. Lots of stuff. What do you think more about that, Jerry?
Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff.
I got your stuff.
Lots of stuff. But yeah, talk to me more about how that dynamic works in your band. Like, specifically, like, okay, let's break it down example by example, because this is good content too for younger bands.
Yeah.
Okay, so who runs your rehearsals? Like, who is the one who goes, hey guys, we need to work on this song. you work on the song and he goes, let's bring it again from the top. Let's take it from the second chorus. Who does that in your rehearsals? Is that also you?
Definitely me and Aaron. And when Aaron's writing, I have the whole song kind of ready to go.
Steve, will you grab me another beer, please?
Aaron, I kind of just let him start writing at his comfort level, so he kind of takes the reins on how fast we want to take this, So, yeah, it's just kind of a team effort. But I don't know. I try to push to, have something going, and also I have another person in the band that really wants to have more of a consistent thing. So it really helps everyone get into that mindset of we're not gonna fuck around, and we're gonna stay consistent, and we're gonna write some product.
So who cares the most about the live show?
Me.
It's all you.
Well, no, I think everyone cares about it. Really.
No, but who really is hey man, fucking we should do this over here, and fucking we need to get scrims or do this. Is it all you? Is it your vision?
Definitely.
Okay,
me.
so you're like Montoya right now. And that's fucking awesome that you're able to get a group of dudes to help make your vision a reality. That's super fucking sweet, dude.
I had this vision. Well,
you must be a super awesome dude.
At first,
because that's not an easy thing to do, man.
It was supposed to be really a solo project, and I got Aaron, and we started writing, and it was just supposed to be just like a solo. Well, not even a solo project, just a something to just do in the studio, and it just evolved. It really just evolved that way. I really wanted it to evolve that way, but you can't tell a horse to drink when you're at the fucking lake.
What?
You know what I'm talking about? What? You can bring your horse to water.
What?
You can bring your horse to water, but you cannot make him drink.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
You heard
what I'm talking about?
You heard it here. You cannot tell a horse to drink at a lake.
No.
That made my night. That fucking made my night. That made my week.
Yeah, man.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Bring your horse to water, but you cannot make him drink, man.
That's so funny, dude. That's so
Oh
fucking
my
funny.
fucking-
What?
Never heard that one?
That is the funniest.
Oh my
right
god.
there. That's it.
Clip
That
it and
made
rip it,
that
boys.
made the
Clip it and rip it.
podcast.
Jesus
Holy
Christ.
shit.
Oh my fucking god, dude. That's so funny. That was so What?
That was funny.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't even what you said for me. That's not why I'm laughing. It was his reaction to what you said.
Oh, yeah.
It was such a simple fuck up. But what? Oh my god.
That was funny.
Hell yeah. But yeah, I don't know. You kind of get the gist of it.
What do you guys got coming up? So you're signed to this label.
Yeah.
You recorded a video.
Yes.
So what is the future? What do you guys got coming up? You got a tour coming up. What are you guys doing?
Right now we're kind of hanging a little low. We're playing some shows here and there, but we redid a lineup, not a full lineup, but 2 members. Member with we got a new bassist, and I can't speak his name yet, but he's amazing. And,
He who shall not be named.
yeah, and it's just bringing the vision more to the level that I really want it to be.
Do you guys want another beer?
I'm good, man.
I'll have one more.
But
Yeah.
we're all on the same page with knowing what we want to write and knowing how to do it better, and we just all know what we want to do when it comes to the stage presence, when it comes to the writing. We're getting more busy on the fretboard and just going in a way kind of a progressive direction. But we want to keep growing.
That's dope, dude.
And that's kind of the goal. I mean, I know that's just kind of vague and everything, but that's kind of that in a nutshell.
He's a talented guitar player, man. I'm glad. I wanted you two to meet each other.
Oh,
He's
nice.
very talented.
Nice.
I think he's
Yeah,
little
Well, it's a
under,
pleasure meeting you.
little
dude.
underappreciated.
I would cheers you, but you have water now,
Yeah, I know.
and that's a sin.
a sin.
It's a sin. You
Isn't that
can't
the
cheers
opposite of
water.
a
It's a sin to
You
drink
can't
water.
cheers water. You
Is
can't
alcohol
cheers water.
abuse?
It's bad luck. It's bad luck to cheers water.
We need
dude.
to find out where your guests are playing so we can create a graphic and throw it up on the screen, right? That'd be good.
Well, when they have their shit together
yeah,
and they read the email I sent them.
I am partially retired.
I thought you were going to say partially retarded.
That's what I thought so too.
Isn't that the same thing?
I swear to God, I thought you were going to say partially retarded. I swear to God, dude, that's not a lie, dude. That's real. I really thought that was about to happen.
Shit. Well,
Like that's Alex shows. I'm
way too
I'm
young
gonna.
to
I'm
retire.
partially retarded.
I do have. I'm in a band called Begravement as well,
they are good.
and
The what?
Begravement. Begravement.
Begravement.
Yes.
Your dog just opened the
Yo,
fridge. And
what's
it's-
up with the death metal names, you guys? It's getting a little much.
Well, that one I can't really. What?
Are you talking about my dog humping?
You want me?
No,
to close the
you're-
fridge? I thought he was talking about that.
No,
for a
you're
second.
what?
My dog humping that pillow, dude. Yeah, my little dog. Yeah, she's in heat,
Well,
man.
she opened the fridge.
Don't shame her. Yeah, she did open that fridge with her big ass booty. Don't shame her though, man.
I'm not. Hey, I'm not shaming.
It seems like you shaming her.
Hey, you don't have to do that.
So you got shows coming up?
Yeah, we do. With Begravement on Saturday, we're playing at the Midwest Death Fest, and then
No, you should. Where's that?
excuse me, that's at the White Rock Lounge. I never played there before.
Where? What city though?
Oh, St. Paul.
You should go to that and you should watch
The
that
city
band,
of St. Paul.
That band, Begravement. I like your Silva stuff, but Begravement's a very talented band.
Really?
Very talented. I went to high school with his drummer.
Okay.
So
Grady. Yeah,
and he is
awesome man.
freakishly good. At
Oh, it's
drums.
not Lonick in that one.
No,
You
no,
mean
not
Lonick's
that
not
one.
drumming for
all
another
different
death
members,
metal band?
all different members.
I-
And Ezra, he's the other guitarist and lead singer in that band. He plays in my band Silva. And this is like we're kind of like
mesh.
joined together a little bit.
I will say, I think if you went and saw them, you would be very, very, very impressed. Begravement.
I mean, here's the thing, dude, is I'm almost always impressed with the death metal bands.
Sure.
I'm just not a fan of the songs.
That's
No,
Like-
I agree,
like-
and I'm the same way. I'm the same way. The
Like-
heaviest I'll go is like Lamb of God, maybe.
Yeah.
As far as, and I'm saying like,
I know what you mean though.
and I'm saying like, I could listen to a whole Lamb of God album,
yeah.
but I don't think I could listen to a whole Shadow of Intent album.
Sure.
I could listen to a couple songs and be like,
Yeah.
"Fuck, this is heavy." You know what I mean? But then I'm like, "All right, that's enough." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm just such a fan of switching dynamics and tempos and
so you
fucking
like Tool?
I mean, not even that degree.
Okay.
Like tempos isn't even the right word. Technically, it would just be grooves. It would just be
So
like,
Lamb of God, Pantera type stuff. Because
yeah,
that's what
Metallica.
they do. You know?
Metallica was really great at that.
Martyr AD, do you know them?
Killswitch was great at the beginning, and then they just half-timed everything over and over and over again until the point
I
there
think
was
Killswitch was way better with
where there was
harmony.
like 2 snare hits in an entire song. You know that they're like, it's so heavy. It's like, no, it's not.
So if you were a fan of Killswitch, did you like the early Avenged?
Yeah. Waking the Fallen was probably my favorite.
Oh, for sure.
Um,
That's no question.
I think Waking the Fallen is what I would refer to as a masterpiece album.
I wish it was better produced.
It was pretty well produced, especially for the time though. Like in the beginning
do you know
of
what
the
I mean?
digital era. Yeah, it's a little overcompressed, but
Same with I love the muddiness of Iowa, but it's just and it's very well produced. But I wish it was just a little cleaner.
Okay.
It's you know.
so you get a handful of albums. I'm not going to limit you to 3 or 5. You know, you can
Okay.
sneak in a 6th or a 7th.
Okay.
But you get a few albums, Deserted Island, in a CD player, and
Wow.
you only get this handful
Okay.
forever. The rest of your life is eating coconuts
And listening to these albums.
and listening because it's a solar paneled CD player.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Okay.
So you never worry about batteries.
Okay.
Okay, I'll start just to give you a
Okay, yeah,
launching
go ahead,
point,
go
right?
ahead, start. I gotta
Because I want you to feel how free this is,
Yeah,
right?
do it.
So Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction.
Okay.
I'm gonna cheat and I'm gonna say the Metallica live shit binge and purge.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay, because I get it all.
Seattle
right?
or
Okay.
Mexico City?
I get the whole box set,
Okay.
bitch. right? I get the whole box set. Awaking the Fallen, definitely on there. Okay. For me, Coheed and Cambria, the Afterman double disc,
Okay.
Ascension and Dissension is on there. Misery Signals Controller is definitely on there. So that's 5 right off the top of my head, and I reserve the right to add at least 2 or 3 more to
Okay.
there. But just off the top of my head,
Wow.
Like double discs are on the table, box sets are on the table.
You go first.
Oh man. Okay. Hank Williams Jr. and Friends
Nice.
from 1976.
Yep, that's a great one.
Pony from Orville Peck. He's sick. Man. Oh. Fucking. Sabotage from Black Sabbath.
Okay. That's
Love that.
Respectation.
Symbolic from Death.
Remember, you can go greatest hits. You can go box collections. Like,
Oh sure.
you're not just stuck to. That's why I went first, because you can cheat a little bit here.
I see.
Okay.
Man.
Shoot a little bit.
God, that's tough, man. I don't
I
think
could even throw an Elton John's greatest hits in there
Yeah.
just to have that specific lineup, because that's a banger. Oh, Michael Jackson greatest hits.
man.
Come on,
Okay.
come on.
Okay. Well, I would go.
Bob Marley and the Wailer greatest
Yeah.
hits. Come on, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
I'm already up to 8.
I'm gonna go. Pantera's 101 Proof.
Nice.
Oh,
So
oh,
yeah,
Oh.
number 1, right? And then I'm gonna go. I'll go Justice, just because. I just think that's the best Metallica album.
Justice.
Yeah.
I mean, I got the
Yeah.
Oh, hell
fucking
yeah.
tapestry
Yeah.
back there, dude.
That's awesome.
So I'm gonna go 101 Proof and Justice for All. Now you guys probably wouldn't like this as much, but for me, Soft Spot, Breaking Benjamin, Dear Agony. That album is fucking great.
Interesting.
And that's
Interesting.
And that is a band that not a lot of people. None of the Stormbreaker got. I really like Breaking
It
Benjamin.
spoke to you.
It did.
It really spoke to you.
really spoke to me. That whole album, half ballad, type, not ballad, slower, just, and then half just that nice, screamy radio rock that I love. So I'm gonna, 101 Proof, Justice for All, Breaking Benjamin, Dear Agony, Def Leppard, Hysteria,
Okay, that's a good one.
and then I'm gonna go. Ooh, one more to get to 5.
I mean, you're not limited.
No,
to 5.
you're not limited. Well, I'd go Disturbed Asylum.
Cool.
Asylum.
Okay. Wow.
See, a lot of
Disturbed?
people. I love Disturbed. Now,
Wow.
Okay.
Can I ask you a
Specifically,
question?
yeah.
Do you also love cock?
Hey. Now you got to listen to me here. You got to listen to me here.
I had to. I'm sorry. I had to. Bro, it was there. It was there like ripe fruit for the taking.
Specifically, Asylum,
Why?
because a lot of their other songs are very cringe, but the Asylum album, you probably haven't listened to it. It's their least listened to album. It is just straight riffs. It doesn't even. It sounds like them because of David Draymond, but if you really listen to that album, you'd be like, "Holy fuck, this is not Disturbed. This is like really good."
I remember when he was on that Queen of the Damned soundtrack. Do you guys remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That whole soundtrack was a banger, dude.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't know how they did it, but collaboration albums are almost impossible, and they somehow did it with that Queen of the Damned soundtrack. That Queen of the Damned that shit was a banger, dude. The whole thing.
Now then, I'm gonna go. What was the album? What was Nickelback's biggest album?
Nickelback?
The
Are
one
you
with the
talking
car
about
on it?
Yes,
Nickelback?
I'm talking about fucking Nickelback.
The one with the
man.
car on it?
Yes.
I don't
What
know.
time is it? I think we got to wrap this
No,
up.
no. What is that album called?
I throw on Moon Lover from Ghost Bath too.
What is
Awesome.
what is that album called with the car? All the
And
right
versus
reasons.
the World from Anonymous.
That fucking album is amazing. Don't care. Don't care. It's amazing. It is amazing.
Do you remember that song they Nickelback made with Saliva?
No, I don't even want to
And
know
they
about that.
say that a hero
So do you know that the
us.
Ninth Planet Out guitar player is now playing for
Dude,
Saliva?
Saliva sucks.
Hey, Murph, when you're done lighting that cigar, take your time. Light
I'm
that,
done.
light that cigar, buddy.
I got it going.
No, enjoy your life, man. Half of it's lit. Bro, I'm the cigar police.
Yeah, you
It's
are.
not okay. Finish lighting that cigar. And then, when you're done lighting that cigar, enjoy your life. When you're done lighting that
Done.
cigar, pull up that Saliva Nickelback song, Hero. And give me a couple bar, like fast forward to the chorus. and play me a couple bars of this, dude, because this was it was in Spider-Man, dude. It was in the
wow.
Tobey Maguire
I
Spider-Man,
did not
dude.
know if
This
I-
was a banger of a
Okay.
fucking chorus,
Okay.
dude. They say that a hero can say. I'm singing it off key, but like,
Yeah,
man,
I've heard that before.
dude, it's
I probably
fucking,
have.
it's a great song. And again, it's like, yeah, dude, this is cheesy, cringe, mainstream rock. But goddamn, it's again so good. You could write it as a folk song,
Yep.
as a hip hop song, as a jazz song.
And I'm
dude.
sorry, man, but and before we start this, I'll just say, any band that can sell out a stadium, I might not like it, but I respect them because they sold out a stadium.
This was a banger.
Do you know
of
what
a
I mean,
song,
though?
you guys.
Yeah.
Is this gonna play? Are we gonna get audio?
I am so high, I can hear heaven. I am so high, I can hear heaven. Oh, but heaven, no heaven, don't hear me. And they say that a hero us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait. I'll hold on to the wings of the eagles. Watch as we all fly away. Someone told me love will all save us. But how can that be? Look what love gave us. A world full of killing and blood spilling. That world never came. And they say that a hero can save us. I'm not gonna stand.
Dude, this is a banger. Okay, shut it down. Dude, I'm telling you, this was a fucking. Do you guys? You guys are
I've
too.
never heard that.
So you guys are too young to also. Do you remember "Kiss from a Rose"?
By who?
I don't know. Maybe if we
"Kiss
if we
from a
heard
Rose" by Seal.
Oh yeah.
So there was a Batman movie in the mid '90s, and there was this song called "Kiss from a Rose" by Seal, and it was the biggest song on earth.
Damn.
Like, you remember when Metallica did the 1.6 million
Yeah.
people in Moscow?
Yep. That was
Okay,
sick.
now just take that idea. Take something being that big. Okay, and imagine. Unmute it. Yeah. Okay, so this was Batman. So what I'm trying to explain, dude, is like this song, "Kiss from a Rose" by Seal. Okay, this song was so fucking big. It was the #1 song, like literally everywhere, for like 4 years, dude. Because of this fucking movie, okay? And I'm sorry for the listeners that are annoyed right now. We have to keep talking to avoid this is now a review of this song, so we can avoid a DMCH, whatever the fuck it's called, a fucking copyright claim from YouTube. So we have to keep talking over this. But this was with the Batman movie. So my point is the Saliva song that we just played. You guys have never heard this song.
I've heard this. I've definitely heard this before.
Dude, and Seal is the shit, dude. Like, Seal is the
he just
fucking
R&B?
man, dude. Yeah, dude. He's really good, dude.
Sounds- Good
This
voice.
is a killer song.
Yeah, this is definitely top 100 songs of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, shut it down. Okay.
Okay.
So what I'm getting at is Hero with Saliva and Nickelback for Spider-Man was them trying to do this
Okay. I see your point.
10 to 15 years later,
I see your
Damn.
point.
and it fucking worked.
Damn.
And
Okay.
it worked,
Sure it
bro. And it fucking worked. Like, if you actually
Makes
listen
it
to
timeless.
if you listen to the chord progressions, like, you're like, you switch the keys and you just look at the math and you're like, they're extremely similar songs.
I do see that.
And they captured a generation of middle schoolers, right, in one of their favorite superhero movies, and it grabbed an entire generation of children, and it was like, this is our moment. This is my fucking everything I got song because I'm 14. And the beautiful part of it is I was in a genre and in an age gap, whatever, where I got to experience both those things and witness them, because I was on I was like 8 or 9 when that first one came out.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like 17 or 19 or 20 or something when the second one came out. So I kind of got to see it all happen. And like, that just doesn't have, I think the closest thing would be when Paramore did that song for what was Twilight? Is that your guys' generation?
Oh, yeah, that was like
Yeah,
our middle school,
middle school.
maybe late.
Yeah, so
elementary
that's
school era.
exactly the age I'm talking about,
yeah.
dude. Yeah, and she did that song. I don't even know the song, but I know she did it because it was a.
I only know the Hourglass song, like ticking.
What's
like a
the
clock or
Paramore
whatever.
song with the Twilight? Paramore Twilight. It's a great song,
Yeah, Paramore's a great
but
band.
it's the exact same thing I'm talking about. Is like these people making these epic movies that are capturing a generation, find and perfectly synchronize with a singer
Yeah.
and artist
Yep.
that is absolutely capturing the at the exact same time, and they create these little moments
For sure.
of perfect pop culture in these hybrids, dude. He's gonna pull this one up, dude.
What's it called?
I don't know, but it's Paramore and Twilight. Paramore song, Twilight movie. I don't know, but I saw a documentary of this behind the scenes. And if I remember right, she was going to use this song regardless of whether they accepted it or not, and they just have, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So then they did it again 10, 15 years later again, but now it's with Paramore.
Oh, I know this song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So there's a group of girls that aren't, well, they might be Swifties, but there's a generation of girls and even young boys. Like this is their version of that, dude. She's the shit, dude.
Yeah, no, she's a great singer.
Good band.
Great entertainer.
Dude, we're gonna have like 3 fucking copyright claims on this video.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good
So,
video.
dude, there's girls that
gotta dig
masturbate. Here's what I want to explain to you guys. Okay, shut this down. There's teenage girls that masturbated while listening to this song.
Damn.
Like, that's what I'm trying to explain.
I want to see that.
No, you don't. Dude, we're going to get raided by the FBI. Never say that
I
again. Oh, I know.
Younger.
Oh, I know.
No,
He was
meant-
making,
meant
he's like,
adult
oh, I know.
girls. Thank you.
No, but seriously, like, that's what I'm really getting at is, like, these songs that perfectly synchronize in pop culture with these movies, dude. They capture a whole generation. Young boys, young girls, everybody fucking fantasizing about being a superhero or a werewolf or whatever fucking stupid movie. It's hilarious, dude. And it's so repeatable. And it's just kind of uncanny because you put all of these songs in a playlist and you're like, there's a thread here.
Yeah.
Like, take the movie out. There's a thread here. Like, these are these like epic, heartbreaking, dramatic, like, every single one of them. Every fucking one of them, dude. It's unbelievable, dude.
Yeah, dude. It's quite the art to, like, I don't know, man. You know what I mean? I didn't even say anything, but
Do you have any more songs to add to your Desert Island playlist? Or albums?
I said Ghost Bath, I'm on a Marth for 2 more albums. Shit. There's just so many to
It's
choose
so
from.
funny because your selection, dude, it
I
would
would-
like piss
yeah,
off a lot of
yeah.
single blonde girls.
I would.
If you were the only dude on an island of blonde girls and you
Oh.
had control of the CD
Yeah,
player,
Hank Jr.
they'd be
I'm
like,
on a Marth.
this guy sucks.
Yeah, dude.
But if it was like a big group of us, we'd be like, this dude fucking rules,
Hell yeah.
dude. His music tastes are awesome.
I would put on there's one more I would do.
Mine wouldn't be any better, by the way. Girls would be like, Do you have any
I have
Nicki
to throw,
Minaj?
I have to throw on Appetite of Destruction because
that was
that's
on
a
mine,
perfect
yep.
record,
It
and
is.
I really do like.
Stormbreaker, strike the match.
You're gonna throw that one on there?
Yeah.
Do it.
I'd like to listen to myself if I was dying on a fucking island. So,
Second helping from Leonard Skinner, man.
what? If I was dying on an island and I had to listen to an album and I could just throw myself on and
Play my best work.
jam it and be like, yeah, you hear that? You hear that? I'm sipping my coconut, dying. You hear that? That's me playing the bass. I mean,
I backed this up. No, I'm with this now. You stole me, dude. No, you're right.
yeah.
You're right. Unfortunately, none of my records make my own cut. But
I don't ever listen
But
to
if
my
they
own
did-
fucking music ever either.
if they did, they would be on. They would be on there for sure.
That is a good song.
I gotta piss one more time. What time is it?
9:15 on that?
All right, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this up. I'm gonna play you guys a couple songs before you get out of here. Let's wrap this up. Steve, can you throw the OBS up there so I at least know where the fuck we're at in our production scheme here? I'm not good at being lost like this. So I put Stormbreaker in the description. I put your Facebook page in the description. You got a show coming up. Where is it again? Tell people where they can come
Yeah.
see your band live.
Yeah, the Grayman's playing this weekend at Midwest Death Fest, and then Silva's playing at Uppsala Metal Fest in when was it? Jeez, July 27th, and I'm playing one at the Amsterdam August 17th.
Go to the Facebook page in the description, and you guys will find in the YouTube video. We're not back on audio properly yet. Some weird shit happened with our hosting, so there's some weird shit. We got some shit we got to work out. But in the YouTube description, you guys can go to their link and follow you guys on Facebook. Make sure you guys are promoting your shit properly on Facebook, and then everybody that's watching this can come see you live. Yeah, that looks right. Yep. That's you guys, right?
That's it. Yep.
Sick. All right, love you guys. We're getting the fuck out of here.
Hey, pleasure, man. Thank you for having us on.
Oh yeah. Cheers. Oh, you got water.
Thanks
Fuck
for
you.
hanging out.
You got empty beers. Well, there's beer in there. Cheers. Love you guys. Thank you guys for coming on. We're out of here. Follow me on social media, Jared Singer Live. Yeah, end this, Steve.
I got to hit the button.
Get us out of here.
All right. We're stopping.
Get us out of here.